Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of It's Only Naturals, where today's session will be fueled by my weaponized ADD, as I have just worked a full shift. But the fun will be only natural. So, in our last session, you guys traveled with Eliel to her council meeting in the capital city of Ashiya. However, along the way, you did stop in a town, which you did not ask the name of, to participate in what you found to be the Harvest Fall Festival.
That's what harvest means.
Well,
while you stayed there, however, the town was attacked by a band of gnolls who attempted to burn down the ever-growing fields and ended up kidnapping a few of the people, who you did manage to return.
I did.
Children and an old lady.
Yes.
And Eliel became a midwife.
Yes, in the meantime, Eliel was a midwife. I can move this.
So the net losses that evening was less than few. Plus
So-
one.
I remember we also.
It was neutral. You found one dead guy.
There was that.
There was also the puzzle
The
in that
puzzle.
room that you realized you did not have the equipment to solve.
We were gonna bring Eliel back there, right?
Would you
Yeah,
like to?
I think that was the plan because we tried a couple of things and we know that like
We weren't heavy enough.
it's not just that
weren't dummy
something's
enough.
missing. Those hands,
Yeah.
they
Mhm.
look like they're supposed to hold bowls, like of some.
Allie, sick him.
Okay then. This family's getting very close. So we knew that like the hands like look like they have specific bowls they're supposed to hold. So we were gonna ask Eliel if she had any idea what they were,
Yeah.
because like we didn't find anything while we were there. Like tried like some regular sized bowls, but they didn't
I
fit.
think we also had that falchion and the falchion, or what was it? I think Alex has it now, or Flint.
Oh, you took the. I think
Is
it
it
had,
a glaive?
I think it had a
I
glaive.
think it's a glaive.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Anyway,
Thank gosh for that.
yeah, something like that.
I didn't adjust my money. I'm so smart.
Oh yeah, you also spent money.
Yeah.
But
But
either way, then for your efforts, you were given a free room for the night,
yes.
and you were also told that you could take food from the banquet, but you never did that.
We haven't left yet.
I thought we did. I thought we were
gonna
sitting and eating,
I took a
and
shit
then
ton
the
of salt.
fire happened.
Yeah.
So we were eating.
Yes, you took salt. You
Yeah,
you
we
have
haven't
eaten,
gotten a
but you
chance to
did
take
not
anything.
take any of the leftover food.
Okay, so we have to make sure we do that because that was
Yes.
like a big thing for us, so
Oh,
that
yeah,
we can
'cause-
survive and that Flint doesn't have to.
Ain't nobody had rations except for you. You only have one.
That's why I grabbed a bunch of salt. I'm making my own rations.
But either way, so you've all had your rest for the evening, and you wake
I
up.
grabbed a glaive, a longbone,
Okay,
and
so
arrows.
let's-
Yes, you get a long rest.
Okay,
So
so
change. That's right.
we wake up.
Yeah, so you wake up. You wake up to the sound of light rain on your windows. You look outside; it's gray, but not terribly dreary. Eliel is not in the room.
Shit.
You recall that when you left last night, she knelt down to meditate
Yes.
at the end of the room while you all slept.
And I made my great
she is not there
mistake.
Well, I'm going to get up. I'm probably gonna kick him awake and then go downstairs. Or are we on like? Is it like a one floor or?
It's one floor. It's a small
Go
town.
outside, see
inn.
what the hubbub is going on out there. If there's anything.
Okay,
active.
so
you kicked me.
the inn is laid out where it's
Wake you up.
basically the main hall and then some rooms off to each side. They don't expect much travel.
No.
So you likely had rooms next to each other.
No, we had a girls' room and a boys' room.
Yes,
Mhm.
because Guinevere doesn't like to share.
I can't as a girl. I have long hair.
Well, every once in a while, Gwen comes to your room to help you sleep, and
Yeah.
true.
then maybe accidentally falls asleep there herself.
Yeah. But anyway, so you come outside and you find, sitting in the main hall, you find Eliel with a few of the townsfolk. She's applying bandages to some of the burns.
Right.
some of the people in the night before were burned. Some of them were cut, both from the gnolls and also from their own equipment. And she's applying bandages and providing some magical healing where it's needed.
Okay.
I will assist her. It looks like there's a decent amount of people.
While this is all going on, I'm gonna get
Well,
myself.
blankets are probably for
It-
both of you.
From the look of it, she's on the tail end of it. Like
Okay.
she only has to rest for 4 hours
So she's
I
probably
think,
been up for a good while.
because
Hot
elf.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, she's been at this for a couple hours now.
Cool.
I would like to ask if I could go to a store.
Is today supposed to be the day we leave with Eliel, or
Yes, you're supposed to continue on today
Okay.
to get to the capital.
Okay, I'm gonna go look for leftover food.
yes, I'm gonna go also
Okay.
to speak to somebody about taking some leftovers with us before we leave.
Okay. So in order, Flint, you go outside to try and find a store. There is only a general store in town. However, given the events of the night before, it is closed for the day. What?
Dragon spit.
Sure. That's not what I heard, but
I was gonna say swear.
His own little way.
okay. So, as far as you two go, in the main hall there's the dining table. Or no, I'm getting buildings confused. So you go out, walk through town to find the town hall where you guys ate the night before. And laid out on the table there is still the leftover platters of food. No one seemed to have cleaned it up the night before.
Does it look gross?
Some of it, some of it looks a little bit like when you leave an apple cut open.
Oh,
yeah,
it's like
it starts getting that brown on
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
But for the most part, it's not as bad as you would have expected. Even
Is there any preserved food?
Are you talking about jarred food?
Yeah, possibly jams, or maybe there's breads that haven't been cut into.
yeah, there are some whole loaves of bread that no one got to. There's breads. There's various jams and jellies.
Okay.
So let's overdo ourselves.
I'll look at these people that cut some of the bread.
Is there any a whole loaf of bread?
Any
Let's
other
get this
preserved
bread.
foods like salt pork, or any anything that's been pickles or
Pickles.
potatoes that can be taken.
There's not good.
Well, if they're raw, if they're cooked, they won't hold sound. But if they're raw, let them keep for a pretty long time and then cut off the hours.
Well, to be fair, we're not traveling too much further, and we can pick up more food.
Rations. Yeah.
So we don't need a lot. We don't need to take a bunch of stuff that's gonna last.
They got a chicken coop here?
You're not gonna be the fox in the chicken
Please
coop, are you?
steal a
No,
chicken.
I'm gonna go see if I can find.
I'm gonna go see if I can find a farmer and ask if I can take a chicken or two.
Okay. So
What are you gonna do for live chicken?
Where are you gonna keep it?
Why are we the parents again?
okay. So I forget what I named the elder for the town because I didn't write it down. I
I
made
also
the name
didn't
up.
I did not write it down. So, Old Lady McGillicuddy.
Flint, perchance, did you write down her name?
Flint doesn't write.
Did you perhaps scrawl her name?
To sketch out a lady and maybe put a name next to her. No.
No.
Okay.
Old Lady McGillicuddy.
Old Lady McGillicuddy it is until I can watch the session back. And then add that addendum to my notes. Either way, you find her just kind of sitting, just staring out over the table of food, just examining it, thinking about something probably.
Probably the fact that she got kidnapped by Knowles yesterday.
Probably.
We killed the friggin' dudes.
Nice.
That we did.
Frogging, perhaps.
Lumps.
Alright,
Sure.
so.
Alright.
Sure. Okay, continuing on.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to talk to her about maybe taking some food.
This is the saddest, most Morris gummy bear. So
This is a preemie gummy bear.
the thought doesn't hit me until I have food halfway in my bag. And it's like,
Yeah.
right. So, I'm
Can we pretend?
Old Lady McGillicuddy.
For now, her name will be Old Lady McGillicuddy until proven otherwise.
I'm not saying that in Gwen's voice.
Old Lady McGillicuddy.
Excuse me.
You could always just call her Mrs. McGillicuddy.
That's also fair.
Ma'am.
Or ma'am.
She has a son named Kid Cudi. Good music.
Anyway.
Good morning.
Oh, hello.
How are you feeling today?
As well as I can. I'm sore. Inside and out.
And we take
That's understandable. You had a very exciting day yesterday. We hate to bother you or ask anything of you, but would you mind if we happen to take a little bit of extra food with us? We have a stretch of journey we still have to take, and
Oh, yes. That was part of why we stayed, wasn't it? You
yes, and also your town is very fascinating.
Not much got eaten last night, so you can help yourselves.
Or you can finish stuff.
The food should keep itself decently for a few days
Oh, thank
Like,
you.
magically.
because it's for the Feywild.
So, like, magically give it up. Yes. Out loud.
What?
So, like, no.
So, like, she's like,
Audibly correct. So, like, wait, no. So, like, magically it keeps itself.
I think so. All I know is that the food that grows on the harvest ball tends to stay. It's typically enough to get us through till spring without much issue.
chain magic.
Yeah, the food is magic.
Yeah.
You get some.
And assuming you each take the same amount, you have 5 rations each.
We should probably grab some for fun.
I suppose.
What does he eat? Rats.
Well, that's are his friends.
I'd imagine anything that fits.
Did he eat a bunny?
He did eat a rabbit, but he cooked it.
That's true. I think anything meat will be fine. Lizards eat bread? I suppose so.
Well, I don't know. I've heard you're not supposed to eat ducks bread because it gives them indigestion, so.
See, I'm not very familiar. We didn't have many lizards. Just like saying, if we had rats, but you know. So,
Alright, we'll get
just get him some meat. He likes
meat.
jerky. Didn't he kill like a bird too? Didn't he like just kill a bird?
No, Carmiath did that. Carmiath killed a vulture.
I also ate meat. I also ate mice.
You also ate mice.
Oh, you're like baby mice.
You found a family of field mice.
Popcorn mice.
My favorite!
Okay, we'll pick up a little extra of like meat or something to have rations for
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, so maybe five more rations for Flint.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, she doesn't seem that concerned with what you're doing at this point.
I'd like to maybe talk to her about the ruins in there.
You mention ruins and she looks very confused.
So last night, the place that they kept me. There was
Oh shit, right,
statue.
she was there.
Yeah, she was.
Oh crap, that part slipped.
Okay, so does she look confused as I'm describing this?
No, she's she was unaware that those ruins were there. As far as she knew, it was just fields.
Okay.
Like she knows that it's like the desert's out to the south, then it turns into forest to the north, and this is kind of the happy middle.
So would anybody in your town know about these places?
we stay here for the most part. I'll get to you in a minute, Boy Scout.
Oh,
Oh, there's a Boy Scout thing, I forgot.
speaking of your town, what is its name by chance?
Oh,
That's right.
it's Marshfield.
Marsh.
It's Marsha's?
That's so cute.
I literally was driving to Session. I was like, I need a name for the town. Marshfield.
Yeah, but like, is there a marsh here?
Yeah.
It's Florida.
It's all marsh.
It's all marsh. It's either
The
marsh
entire damn
or
state.
swamp.
And in 3 to 4 years, if we're not careful, it'll just be ocean.
We're taking environmental science, and it's real depressing. Okay. Magic.
Okay.
Sally. Flint.
Question.
Yes.
I don't remember, are kobolds classified as small creatures or regular creatures? Because a heavy weapon gives creatures
I think
small.
you're a medium creature.
Oh, it's not in the player's handbook.
It's not.
Because it's
No,
Oh, I didn't bring Bolo with me.
I believe because your movement speed is 30, I'm pretty sure you are considered a medium
Yeah, I
creature.
think they make you medium.
But let's find out.
They are classified as small.
You are small?
That's what it's showing me here.
Yep.
Size small,
Yeah.
features, tactics, yep.
Cool ones are between 2 to 3
You
feet
sure that's
tall.
the race version and not just
This is the race
monster?
version, 5e
The
race.
race.
Okay.
you could have looked on
I found the wrong.
Hermione. Yeah, that one.
I could have also done that.
Mermione.
Sponsors, please.
Never.
Not. Hey, never say never. It's D&D.
Hey, that's
ours.
No, it's not ours.
High key though, D&D Beyond, if you want to sponsor this shit show.
Anyway.
Hi Q, we pay more money off the ass for your stuff.
Okay, so.
Okay, maybe don't insult them. Okay,
I'm gonna vomit.
anyway, so Flint, you were looking for chickens?
Chicken.
Chicken.
Okay,
He doesn't have enough money for them, so.
probably not.
Here's the number. Guns.
I have 11 gold pieces.
Shinies.
Shinies, and also this necklace Gwen gave me.
Okay, anyway, what's going on?
Oh,
I
yeah.
forgot we gave each other gifts.
Okay.
I gave you guys gifts, you guys gave me.
Handoffs.
Oh no, I gave a nice gift.
You gave a
it's
nice.
It's a shiny.
It was a
purple
re-gift.
I don't know what I gave him.
You gave me.
It's a symbol of payload.
I think you like.
I gave him a steak, I think.
You don't give me oil.
Oh, I did give
Yeah,
him
you
oil
gave
for your
him oil.
scales.
Or to set on
Yeah,
fire.
or for boom boom.
Or for boom boom.
Yeah. Okay.
I gave you a book, didn't I?
Yeah, I gave them an amulet.
Anyway,
Okay. So, please don't clap. So yeah, looking around, you find the farmers are out in their fields, you know, taking care of their business as they do. They seem less lively than they were yesterday,
Excuse me.
but most of the field still grows like it did. So whatever
so
magic
was
there
it
is,
burnt?
yeah,
or it's-
like whatever magic there is that happens for Harvest Fall is still lingering. But they aren't as energetic as they were yesterday.
Oh, I thought you were gonna sneeze.
It's just Flint running into the middle of the field and waving his sword like, excuse me!
No,
So these
wait,
poor
wait,
farmers.
A glaive that is double my size.
Excuse me.
I'm like I'll take like a little bit of cloth or whatever, like a white cloth.
Excuse me.
Now they're really gonna think it's Knowles.
Yeah.
How did these
Um,
Knowles learn common?
Yeah, you approach one of the older farm hands, I guess would be the proper term. He looks to be in like his 50s or 60s.
Excuse me, old timer.
He's not that old.
It's all for these people.
I mean, true, I suppose medieval.
Yeah.
If you made it past 30, you're in a midlife crisis.
They have an elder, so it's like, I don't know.
She's 80.
She's a miracle.
Yes. That's why she's the elder.
No, honey, I'm the miracle. Anyway. I'm myself, not Carly.
Anyway,
You take a look at bread and you die.
So you approach this older farmhand, and he's just kind of just keeping himself busy more than anything, just like pitchfork in hand, just moving wheat from one pile to a different pile.
Excuse me,
You're
sir.
not really sure if there's a purpose.
Excuse me.
Yeah?
Can I get some chickens?
I ain't got chickens.
Do you guys have chickens in this village? What's this village again?
Marshfield?
Heartfelt. That's a very nice name. Do you guys have chickens?
Wow.
Oh boy. Alright, time to roll for chickens.
We have
We have to roll.
we have a single chicken, and it's the only way we get eggs. Please don't take our chicken, sir.
Oh, does the chicken have it like the plants?
Like it's just constantly laying eggs forever.
There's just this one chicken in agony, just oh. What would you guys do if I was like, yeah, they have a chicken, you go find it as a fucking cockatrice?
It's like this is on fire.
It's
like-
one Aarakocra guy just sitting in his shed.
They don't let me leave.
Please help.
They're insane.
They think I lay eggs. These are all illusions. They're rocks.
Okay,
Okay.
where are we?
Yeah.
He rolled for chicken.
Yeah, so we have some chickens, but they're more for eggs.
Can I take some? It's like two chickens. Two chiquitas.
Is that chickens in Draconic?
I don't know. I don't like that one. Okay. Well, considering how things have been, I suppose we can part with, like, a chicken.
Where can I find him?
Cardiac groaning noises.
He just kind of gestures out to the field.
Sir, you're gonna have to pick me up. I cannot see.
Neither can I.
I'm going to plant the glaive into the ground. Like blade first.
Uh-huh. Yeah. You realize that the reason he gestured to the field is because they don't have a chicken coop. These are free-range chickens that they just happen to know live here.
Okay, well.
We're
Glaive.
starting this session off with you chasing chickens in a field.
Welcome to Legend of
I
Zelda.
was
Yeah.
about to say.
Alright, so.
I'll find the chickens.
What do I do?
Okay, if you want,
chickens, please.
you can roll for survival to try and track the chickens.
First roll of the day.
Aw, damn.
Don't even.
I just want to
Survival?
see that one
Yeah.
for tracking
15.
chickens.
15.
I'm gonna get on all fours. There's chickens around these parts.
Yeah, okay. So, you do make a fairly embarrassing display of
I was gonna
yourself.
say, is he like
If
a
Flint
snake?
is
He's got
capable.
like heat sensing pits like along.
Yeah.
It's like just like following every step, and like at one point, you know, like chickens just randomly start doing stuff in circles. It's just like going like that for a while, and then it's like, oh, this way. And
Tongue comes out, but it tastes air.
Yeah.
Just that's.
Yeah, so you do manage to follow, you find and manage to successfully follow a trail of bird footprints.
No, catch the chicken.
No, you have to catch chicken.
You gonna put your hand out and expect it to fly into your hand? You're not a
I got some
princess.
Well,
What?
Chickens with song.
I didn't hear you. What,
we'll see.
What did you say?
he's checking his inventory, but you held your hand up and I was like, please don't cast burning hands. Not in the middle of a wheat field, the guy.
Fried chicken.
And the town of Marshfield is Marsh gone.
The town of Marshfield
And the
has
first
Marsh
restraining
slain.
order was filed.
I'm going to grab. I'm gonna cut some grain.
Mhm. Okay.
Chicken train.
Roll animal handling, I guess.
Let's just sit here.
Why is it that we're always doing the
12.
stuff that we need
12,
and Flint's
okay.
off just doing the craziest thing?
The chickens don't seem interested.
Surprise.
When we get lower. Like kind of like moving on the ground.
God.
A snake?
Yeah,
Okay.
you're like a lizard.
Yeah.
The
So-
predator that you are.
So maybe it's the rustling that you made while you're moving, but it does attract the attention of the chickens.
You're still a big lizard.
One begins to peck your eyes out.
Yeah. So you don't know if it's these chickens have particularly had an easy life or if it's something like that, but you see 5 chickens all head towards you.
Hey, guess what?
Roll initiative against chickens.
Remember you said Legend of Zelda?
What's your AC?
17.
Okay. You died to chickens.
You take 4 points of slashing damage as they jump and scratch and try and get over each other to get to the food in your hands.
I really hope you die to chickens.
I'm gonna lift up my hand as they're all fighting and just whatever chicken gets to the top wins.
Me does
Okay.
What does chickens?
I really hope he just.
Yeah, you now have a chicken in your hand. As the food is gone, it has suddenly settled down. Do you need to borrow an expo?
I'm surprised we did this.
As the food is gone,
So are your eyes.
it settles and sits into your hand. That was almost cool.
Are you just making eyes with this chicken?
You are the strongest chicken, as shown by your weaker brethren.
You are the strongest
You are my champion!
Just watch. He's gonna get attached. The whole point is for him to have food, and he's gonna get attached to
I was
the
gonna
chicken.
say, do we have a pet now? Do we have a pet chicken?
What is your chicken's name? Have you named
Like,
it?
Flint's gonna make it part of his clan.
Flint's clan banner is a chicken with a gladiator helmet.
I mean, chickens used to be raptors, so closest family relative.
I'll name you after my dead brother, Korg!
Korg the chicken.
Korg it is.
We now have a pet chicken.
Named Korg.
That we do not know about yet. That Flint's just gonna
Yeah.
show up with.
I'm just gonna take some more wheat.
You are the strongest one.
So you just have a chicken on your shoulder now.
Please tell me you have to roll to tame this chicken.
I'm just gonna keep feeding it.
I just love that you were like, I want to get chicken so we have food, and you just decided you're just keeping chicken.
Is it a female or a male? Because that
Pet.
It's Korg and it's a woman.
Please tell me
Name
it's
is
a rooster
something
and it
I wanna
doesn't even lay
change.
eggs. Please tell me it's a rooster and it doesn't even lay eggs.
Oh,
What happened?
Hey
so
Siri, how do you distinguish chickens?
One's rooster.
you have to wait for one to lay an egg.
No, one's darker
Yeah,
colored.
no. Roosters are darker.
A wire grab.
Make a nature check.
He gets a chicken.
It might be a bird.
You're actually not sure. You might think it might
This
be
is a raven. I go to flip around the chicken. That's a 1. It's a natural 1.
Okay, it's probably a bird. You turn it around to see if you can locate its genitals and it shits in your eye.
Just like Korg!
I'm sorry. No, I'm not gonna say it.
No, keep it yourself.
Starts with a C.
Yeah.
I will leave this table.
So, having shit in my face.
It's fine, it matches the rest of your scales.
You looked off in the distance and I'm like,
I thought I saw the lights move.
Well, Korg, we're gonna have to make some ground rules here.
That's not that choice.
This is out of character.
Let's go, my champion!
Oh no. Dash it on your head.
Okay. As you walk back, make another animal handling check to see if it runs away.
Do you have good animal handling? I don't think he does.
That's gonna be great.
He has a +0 to an animal handling. I think I know it.
Okay.
Oh, you got better
I'm giving it some food as I go. I don't want to lose Korg.
So you make your way back to the inn where you're assuming your companions are.
Oh god.
They are not. Unless you guys went back to wait for Flint.
I'm sure we went back to go give him his rations, right?
Okay.
And to meet back up.
I was like,
Yeah.
I was gonna say no. And to meet back up.
Is there a
with
leather
LOL.
working place here?
Not that you saw. Either way.
I'm making
So-
a harness. Gobble chickens.
See, I feel like this is like one of those things where we get back to the end and we're like, okay, Ellie, we're ready to go. And she's like, where's the list? And we're like, crap. Like,
Okay, so either way, you enter the inn
Enter in.
and you have now reconvened with your party.
Invert.
what is that?
1, champion. 2, Korg's the champion.
Oh, what is on your face?
A gift.
That's bird shit.
I have not opened my mouth fully.
You don't have lips.
It's
I
just
think,
amazing.
I think he has jowls. Doesn't he?
Oh, that's all it is.
Not the front.
If you look at a picture of a kobold, it looks like it has something.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they have like something to cover their teeth.
I don't know. I'm
Does
just.
anyone have a napkin?
Like, why do you have a chicken?
It is Korg, it is my champion, and he will go with us.
How do you feel about roast chicken for dinner?
Alright, this is my champion. I'm gonna get a rat at the church. I'm getting a chicken now.
It's a chicken. So, getting a pet is a big responsibility. Where are the parents?
Go on.
What if something happened to poor
Korg.
Corn?
Name is my dead friend.
Oh.
I thought you said brother.
Yeah, brother, friend. Everyone's a family in the kobold.
In the kobold.
Inbred. This makes so much more sense. You have to feed it
I already have.
I'm not cleaning up
and make
after
sure
it.
it goes to the bathroom.
It has.
You have to make sure to feed it.
I have.
Us,
You have to
not-
make sure it goes to the bathroom. I have.
Not on people. It has to go outside.
What
It
if,
was outside.
It has to have some
You
of
have
this.
to house train it.
what if it runs away?
Well, I have a solution for that.
I pull out rope.
Okay.
Rot the chicken.
I'm going to tie it around its midsection.
Make another animal handling check to try and restrain a chicken.
I'm gonna put some birdseed. I'm gonna put some like wheat that I grabbed,
I don't really
Just
want to
in
get
front of
involved
it?
with the chicken.
and just as it's eating, I'm just gonna.
Okay.
Like, noose the poor chicken.
I'm not tying it around the neck.
Where are you tying it around? The wings? I mean, technically that is a bird harness.
It is a for animal handling. It's a 16.
Okay. So yeah, you put the bird seed, well, effectively bird seed, on the floor, and Korg seems more interested in that than whatever it is you're doing to him or her.
Yeah, can one of us? Can I try
Would you like to make a nature
it? I
check?
would like to make a nature
Greatest
check.
suspect in the kobold guild.
I would like to try to. Is this a male or a female chicken?
Okay.
Would I know this naturally? Just
I don't.
Then what is the use of a
You,
pet?
you
Not
never
to eat when
specified
it
that
is
you had
done.
raised chickens.
roll
We
for a
don't want
chicken.
to keep a chicken.
With me.
What did you roll to check if it's a chicken?
It's a bird.
It doesn't shit on you.
What is the DC?
Not
So-
6.
So wait, So Cork is a boy chicken?
I don't know yet.
I don't know if I want to.
The mystery of corn.
I guess
the
I have
next one shot.
I guess I have to now, I guess, right?
If you would like to, you can make
gotta
a
see
nature
if Cork's
check.
a guy. Oh, that's not in the dish. It's a 7.
Corn's a bird.
Bird.
We're not familiar with chicken
Bird.
anatomy.
No, you are not.
I grew up in a tiny farming town, but apparently I can't.
No, you grew up outside of a tiny farming town.
You're right.
Anyway,
Anyway, like,
I can
having
tell
a
the
pet is a
difference
big
between a male and a female
responsibility.
deer.
And I don't think you're ready for it. What if we started with something like a stick, and you can take care of the stick, and then or a rock.
I have this stick.
I have this, and I'm going to just.
A snail is a living
A
creature
snail
that
is a great
that
pet
essentially
starter.
doesn't eat anything but like dew
Or a
and
rock, and we can just drop
I'm
some
gonna pick
eyes
up
on
corn. I'm gonna take my face, wipe it on your dress. I'm gonna go find what's her name.
Oh my god.
you're gonna go
Discreetly, just.
Okay, make a sleight of hand check.
please tell me you
Guinevere, make a perception check.
He's right next to me, and I'm addressing him about chicken.
You guys are discussing
What you-
pets.
You guys were talking to each other,
What
not
you
to
do
Flynn.
is you let him do it, and then just as he's doing it,
My passive perception is a 14.
This isn't a passive check.
Okay.
yeah, this is active. That would be a +4.
21.
So you see out of the corner of your eye as you're talking with
Or more like you
Carmiath.
feel it, the dress move, like.
Yeah, you see Flint move, and then you feel the fabric in your dress shift. And
Right
you
near
look-
the butt. So it looks like you're shitting yourself.
You're not gonna get to wipe it on me.
White.
You know I'm there.
Chicken poop is white
Ooh.
with black bits.
with black bits and green bits.
Sometimes. And you notice as Flint is bringing the fabric of your dress to his shit-covered face.
Are you gonna hit him? Please say I'm gonna hit him. It's just gonna be reflex when he's near my butt. Stop touching me. What do I have? What do I have? You got a mace.
Just hit him with
Go!
Touch him.
He's gonna be You have confidence.
Sorry,
I'm just gonna smack him. Just instinctual, just immediate, like,
Okay.
smack.
Make an unarmed strike attack,
Okay.
which is your strength and your proficiency.
It's gonna be this.
20.
Okay.
You take 2 points of bludgeoning damage. I just smack you across the face.
You can choose to make that less if you want.
No.
Okay.
You just take the full 2.
You take another 2 points of bludgeoning damage as Guinevere stabs you.
What do you think you're doing?
I need to clean my face.
Not on my dress!
Well, what do I use?
A napkin?
What's a napkin? This is the Middle
I'm
Ages.
gonna go get a napkin and I'm gonna. I'm just gonna come.
Yeah, you find one of the spare rags that they keep around to keep the place clean.
Keep it around, I will confiscate your cord, your bird.
Also, Alex, can you please watch your voice? You're peeking the mic a little bit.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Or to stick with me is a red cord.
What did I say about responsibility?
It's my responsibility.
So you are responsible for dealing with his excrement a different way than putting it on me.
We have a pet now.
Are we ready to leave then? As
Wait!
Eliel, you realize, has been standing here for
Do
some
we have bread?
We have plenty of food.
We have enough bread to feed you. To feed your chicken.
Thank you.
Upset Carmen.
Upset Carmen.
radiating upset.
More just like uncomfortable, just
Just
all the time. Yeah, just
okay. Well,
If we're lucky, it'll run away. Or fly away. Or it'll leave.
anyway.
We'll have fried chicken for dinner.
Have all your oils.
Does Garvey know how to fry food?
Anyway,
You throw it in a fire. It's fried.
Okay.
we picked up some food for the journey, so we have some supplies.
I don't remember how much gold
That's
I had.
good. Alright, because we need to get moving again. We have about another day's travel.
Alright.
Well, now we have 5 rations, so there's
And 4.
And I have 2 bowls of salt.
And you took a bowl of salt and a bowl of sugar.
Oh, you're right. Thank you.
Why is it I remember that, but not like
The name of your elder.
Like, not this bitch's name, but I remember Flip took a bowl of salt and a bowl of sugar.
Are you going to...
I remember because I agonized about whether anyone would
Oh,
care.
actually though, salt preserved egg yolks. And
Okay.
My stomach growled when you said that.
Okay.
sugar preserved, like sugared like plums and apples and stuff.
Okay, anyway, so,
I'm just cooking because I could. There's shit you can do with this.
outside, you guys find your horses tied where they were.
Okay.
Oh no. This mess again.
Travel with coordinated horses.
What is a bag? Is it like a bag dog?
Like your first dog was the first chicken.
I can voice a chicken too.
I feel like that cannot be shot, but I want to hear him make chicken noises.
Anyway, so you find your horses outside, and as Eliel is checking over it to make sure that everything is in place given the events of the night prior.
Or drags up my thing.
Okay. You see a small girl approach the group of you.
Oh no, not again, not children.
She has this deep tan complexion and brown hair that seems like it would be a mess of curls if it weren't tied into 2 braids that stick almost like horizontally out from the sides of her head. And you can tell it's more to keep it in check than to make it look good.
She walks up.
Yeah.
She walks up to us.
Yeah, she walks up and she clearly has something behind her back.
We're not taking shinies again!
What? Oh, yeah. We were
Well, I saw that you guys didn't get anything last night, and well, you know, you helped us out a lot, and Mommy and Daddy say that you were really brave, and I thought you should get something.
Yes.
Prizes.
Immediately Flint is won over.
I know it's not a lot, but I made it myself, and she holds you a stuffed bird, like a teddy bear bird.
I will take it.
It is very clearly made out of mismatched scraps of fabric.
Give me
The
this.
I think
seams
everybody
are
wants the stuff
visible,
from the child.
Give me this board.
and it has 2 different sized
You have
button
one.
eyes that are sewn
Oh,
Give me this board.
Right, Flint already has a board, so you can't have this one.
How close is I get it?
Nobody's close. She approached all of us.
Give me the board. I want the board.
Oh, well, that's very sweet of you.
As you talk to her, she immediately turns bright red.
Did you make this all on your own?
It's very good.
And you, as you compliment her, you see her shoulders rise, and she starts like grinding her shoe into the floor, and just like she's very clearly uncomfortable getting this kind of compliments.
Yeah.
But in that way of a child where it's like secretly
It's like,
they
I'm
wanted
so
this,
happy.
like they wanted this, but they weren't prepared for
to
this.
be receiving.
Yeah.
I see it.
And she shoves it into your hand.
No, it's in my hands. Oh, well, this is very. Does he have a name?
Corn too!
I didn't really give him a name.
Well, we'll make sure we give him a proper name.
Okay.
This is what happens when you're the antisocial one of our party.
And after a moment of you not talking to her anymore.
Is it heavy or anything? No. Okay.
It's just a stuffed animal.
Okay, after a child gave me a package with things in it, I'm scared of children smuggling.
You open it up, it's like 40 kilos of coke.
like there's something in it.
It's
Okay.
a kilo
Anyway,
of coke.
you don't talk to her for a moment, and then she just like realizes that it's probably done, and she runs away, and like,
Okay.
you can see her run into one of the buildings.
Into it.
Well, that was awfully sweet. Well, I guess now we have 2 pet chickens.
Is it a chicken?
It's a bird, I think. I would imagine.
Well, it looks like a bird.
It is very much so just a bird.
It's
Like
a bird.
I love how
It-
Carmi is already so condescending of the little girl's thing she made for us.
Well, I didn't say I'm being condescending. You said chicken, and I said it looks like a bird.
Okay, well,
like
why can't it be a
it's
chicken?
probably supposed to look like a songbird of some description.
Not a chicken.
Okay.
Do you see a crest? I don't see a crest. It's not a chicken.
Jesus.
No, it's a very simple, like, there is a ball for a head, a little cone for the beak, like 2 flaps for wings,
Oh my god.
and just like a little fan
Well,
shape
I guess now
for
I
the
got
tail.
stuffed chicken. Stuffed bird, songbird.
It's a bird.
Oh, God.
With that out of the way, the 4 of you set off to make the last leg of your trip.
I'm
gonna be upset about this
bird.
for the rest of my life.
Actually, though, as you're traveling and examining this new gift,
Yes.
If it's magic, I'm gonna punch you in the face.
you find that the quality is deceiving. And it is actually a magic item.
I got a magic bird. This is the second time I've ever received a magic totem.
Give me a
You're
second
right.
to find the actual item.
I love how
Down with sports.
I didn't even want this bird because I thought it could be
No,
a magic
they
item. I
said-
just wanted the bird, and now it's just getting better.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the bird?
What's the bird do?
So,
I'm
the
stinky
bird
about this.
is the bird of a feather. It is an uncommon item.
Okay.
And let's see.
It's like, got a glaive. You got a
Go
bird.
get something at some point.
He wants a glaive?
You gotta
You want
do
the
it
glaive?
nicely. I
So-
don't think you're. Can you use?
While you are holding it,
Professional.
you have the ability to, for 1 minute, you gain a flying speed of 20 feet. Let's see.
That's lit. I like to with flavor text.
Wait, how many feet?
Cloth wings.
20 feet.
Cloth bird wings.
I'm just
sprouts
real quick.
around.
I'm glad I
And
got
like
this.
patchwork.
Okay,
We'll
that's
see.
20 feet.
That's not how I envisioned it.
Okay, anything else?
So, you have to be holding the bird for this
Okay.
to happen.
Okay.
If you are hit during this time, the effect ends early.
Okay.
And then after that,
Does it have like a recharge?
it has a recharge. You can only use it once. Once you use it, there is a 1d4 hours before you can use it,
That's not bad.
which
though.
I will be determining and keeping a secret. In the same vein as the Satchel of Embers.
So does it currently already is it already charged?
You have no idea.
Okay, cool.
You just kind of discern this from studying it. And for flavor text for the record, while you are holding it and you use the flying, the bird flies. It leads you.
You know what it's like? It's like an Undertale when the little bird that you get, like, it just pops on your head, picks you up, and flies you across that little gap.
Guys,
Yeah.
we can talk for a second. I'm officially an all-terrain cleric. I can swim and now I can fly.
We're done.
Oh my god, we
I'm
made
all-terrain.
the army. Army cleric.
Does anybody have
Lance Zero.
proficiency in vehicles? Because I'm an all-terrain cleric now.
Oh no.
Built tough. Cleric tough.
We can do it.
Okay,
He's Tempest tough.
Okay, cool.
so with that out of the way,
What happened?
I don't know, man.
Just are you gonna kill me in the air now too?
Yes.
Roll a d20.
Again, like I said, if you take damage, the effect ends.
Yeah, and then I fall.
And that also only lasts for 1 minute.
Like, do you fall gently with like some of the
Nope,
things
you
like with other items, or
like
you just
fall.
fall?
Like,
Okay.
you fall.
Great.
Give the world's
So it's
best
not
people
like-
that.
It's not like the winged boots then.
No. Okay.
Quick, you just fly up really high, let the effect end. Did anyone else hear like the siren?
I'm not like Flynn. I don't jump from trees to my possible death.
So, you travel through the day examining this bird. I assume probably taking turns admiring it, maybe? Carmio seems to want the bird.
I don't
want the what are you talking about?
I think Ramona mostly wants the bird. I just want not Carmia.
Ramona wants the bird. Carmia doesn't care.
Carmia doesn't give a shit. Carmia's like, oh.
Ramona just wants bird.
Carmia like tuned out the moment it was like child.
I'm such a sucker for like stuffed animals. In a store, if I look at a stuffed animal, I immediately have to hug it for a period of 30 seconds at least, or I feel like I'm doing something wrong.
Right. She said in a store.
I'm moving it because the belt's digging into my back.
Also, I would very much like to hug your squishmallow.
As you have presented it, I must now hug.
Okay. I now have to find a stuffed bird just to bring to the table every time I'm here.
And it will sit on my head the rest of the day.
I'm sure you can find a Beanie Baby.
Yeah, I think I might have.
It will sit on my head the rest of the time.
Okay, so.
You travel through the day.
I'm gonna go by Carmia, like right close to him, with my bird on my head.
I'll give you this glaive if you give me that bird.
It's my bird. I'm the one who's holding it.
I'm whispering this to Carmia.
Oh.
I don't want your glaive.
It's too heavy for me.
What are you guys talking about?
I'm selling. He wants the bird.
No! Corn dust!
Right.
I just realized I need to find the stat sheet for a chicken.
It's gotta be in the manual.
It's probably in there.
I can look for it if you need me to. I mean, it is my responsibility.
I'll do it later.
Yeah, watch it'll become
I can do it on
Carmia's
break.
responsibility.
Yeah, it is going to immediately become my responsibility, and I'm going to kill the bird.
I will not touch corn.
So
You don't know that.
If that's all you wanted to do, then
I'm going to read my book.
you
yeah, and then
travel through the day
obviously we're
until
gonna read.
Eliel stops to set up camp for the night.
Holding chicken.
I just imagine just one of those things on horses, like every once in a while, like me and Carmia for reading, and it's just like switch. It's just.
Oh, did you finish that chapter? Yeah, I finished
Yeah, okay, we can switch.
What do you think about that chapter? I don't know. I mean, like,
Come on.
Okay, so you guys set up camp for the night now with plenty of rations.
how many
actual
rations did you
book.
give me?
5.
Okay.
You know how 5?
Is that Timmy?
Yep, that's Timmy.
Anyway.
And back.
Hold on. Okay, never mind. I was gonna see if it could pick up. Anyway. So you guys, you set up camp for the night. LAL starts a fire and everything. All that fun stuff. So who wants to take first watch?
I'll take the first one.
Well, I'm going to be up early.
I'm
not going to sleep.
Is it night?
Yeah, at all.
It's sunset at this point.
Never mind, you got it.
I'm not going to sleep.
I forgot.
So I'll take first watch.
Okay.
In which I proceed to roll like crap.
Here we go. And there it is. Wait, that's cocked, isn't it? No,
No,
it's not.
it's
It kind of
so
not cocked.
That's cocked, isn't it? I wish.
How many do I just make one?
Just one.
Oh no.
I believe you're allowed to give yourself advantage because of the Kalashtar thing.
Isn't it only for the creatures and stuff?
I
Yeah.
thought it was like you're allowed to like as a reaction you can give yourself advantage on a
Only
check.
on wisdom saves.
Oh, on a wisdom
Yeah.
save.
Yeah, not
Okay.
wisdom
When I make
checks.
a wisdom saving throw, I can use my reaction to get that.
Okay.
Yeah, cut to me dying.
Your roll was so bad on your perception. You
My body
failed
rejected
to,
it.
You failed to realize that you stopped breathing and you begin to choke.
So what did you roll?
I wish it was this number that it rolled to. No, it's an 11.
11. Okay. So you were lost in thought mostly. As you said, you've been reading through the day.
Fucking bird.
You've been reading on your travels, and as one does now that you've
The chicken's staring at me.
now that you've stopped. Yeah. Forget what I was going to say. Yeah. Flint's off looking for something to help finish setting up
And it's
camp and
just-
has just left
The chi-
Korg
and the
in
chicken's
camp.
Korg is not being left anywhere.
The chicken is just staring
And it is staring
daggers.
straight at you as best as a chicken can.
Like it knows something you don't.
Just like,
No, it's just all of a sudden it does one of these.
Yeah.
Straight into the cardigan, and that's what it is.
It turns out you didn't just get a chicken. You actually got a cockatrice.
So anyway.
Anyway.
What's the percent of that?
The percent is be afraid.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm only distracted by
Cockatrice.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Okay.
So.
I see nothing. Other than the chicken.
Yep. You see that the tall grass that you've been traveling through has started to get shorter,
Okay.
which arguably should help your perception, but has not.
Do I get stabbed by anything?
No.
Not
The pain in your back.
The sun sets, night falls, and nothing happens. And you get the feeling it's probably about time for you to swap
look
with
at
someone
the
else.
time.
Yep.
No, I was.
Yeah, no.
Oh. Okay.
Wake up.
Okay, I'm up. I'm up.
Can I?
Watch.
I just take my blanket.
Just
I'm up. I'm here.
make a
You're just.
perception check. I swear I'm
Oh my god!
Mom, I'm up.
I rolled a 7.
That's
What does she
I
roll?
believe that's 23.
It's like a 19.
I rolled 19.
Okay.
23.
So, Guinevere, despite having just been woken up,
Just waking up. She just rolled a natural 20 for fun.
despite having just woken up and still being somewhat groggy, you managed to come to your consciousness pretty well
100% sleeping with the chicken. With the bird.
with the bird.
Yeah.
Don't mind me. Just changing my dice.
So you keep watch for the night, and despite it being dark outside of the reach of the campfire, you think you're doing a pretty decent job of staying aware. And you hear an owl at some point, but nothing really worth being frightened of.
I'm just even holding my chicken.
Of course you are.
Yeah, I'm sure you see that too.
That poor chicken's probably like traumatized.
It's tied around
Yeah, as
me
like
at
a
all
lizard with like
times.
its mouth open, snoring is clutching.
My teeth like right around its.
But
Something to be worried about or anything.
no, nothing happens.
I will go wake up Flint.
I'd say the only thing you're probably worried about is the proximity of Korg to Flint's mouth, and also the angle of Korg's neck as it's sleeping is just. It doesn't look comfortable.
I don't know, man. I've slept in some weird positions.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe don't squish your chicken.
Korg is just
Automatically dead. We just got him.
As you poke it, you see its feathers ruffle a bit, but it doesn't.
You really should get some kind of cage for it.
No, Korg is free.
Aside from this rope.
I was gonna say he's totally free.
Which is tied around me.
You literally took him
Korg
from
is
free range.
Within 50 feet.
Alright, well,
I got my leash on like a child.
okay, well, it's your turn to watch. Try not to get the chicken killed.
Can you hold my chicken?
I
No.
cannot.
Alright, Korg, between you against the world.
Go as Carmia.
Responsibility.
No.
Alien. He doesn't.
Good night. Don't let the chicken poop on anything.
I thought you were gonna say don't let the chicken bite.
Yeah, so you really just
Yeah.
missed the opportunity there.
Since when do you think Gwen makes jokes?
That's true.
God, now I know how you guys feel when I play my cleric.
Okay.
Um,
Meanwhile, I play a fun cleric. Okay. Go ahead and roll your perception check.
Well,
Here we are.
You don't have a cleric.
well.
Oh my god!
Mike.
Maybe the dice is telling me something.
You idiot. There we go. Here we go.
I'm stargazing.
This is how Cord dies. Right
I'm
here.
stargazing right now.
Okay.
It's gonna be a flat 4. Holding
Okay.
cord.
You rolled a cord?
Okay.
4 for cord.
It's a whole big cord. Oh no.
So,
I thought you said we weren't doing it. We didn't expect him to roll a 4 with a chicken.
So, for your watch, you spend most of your time walking. Sure. You're walking Korg and looking up at the stars. It's kind of been raining all day, but at night the clouds have parted, and you can see the sky. And you take a moment to just remember, where you used to come from. All those years spent
Why are we having character development?
underground.
I'm afraid, Mona. If we didn't get any of this for her watching, you rolled bad too.
And now you're out with this above you. You can't help but think it was, all in all, it's been a good thing.
He's also a very sentimental wizard.
That's true.
Apparently.
Who's up there? Don't kill me.
Immediate death.
Immediate.
Cord is my friend
just
too.
comes out of the sky. It's like a
And here you see the earth erupting.
From Majora's Mask.
Yeah, it's like
But nothing happens.
Alright, Cord. Let's go.
just dragging him
Yeah,
so
Korg has been sleeping.
he's like those cats from
So-
videos that just like flop and get dragged.
Korg is a bird. It is dark. Korg is asleep.
You right. I'm missing both my d10s.
No, let's go pick up cord.
I can
So the sun rises, and
You all die.
nothing happened.
Hey.
The cord just yells.
You're just
Yeah, I was gonna say we're gonna have a chicken
have a
wake up
rooster.
call.
Oh my god! I'm perfect! We always wake up on time.
We still don't know if it's a boy or a girl.
We'll take it to a work
Yeah,
specialist.
no, part of me thinks that Elio
Oh, no.
secretly knows it just isn't telling
Elio,
anyone. We must know. We must know is this a boy or
We don't want to
No.
misgender and it's 2020.
Do not tell us.
what was it? I think I read recently. I think like chickens call at like 130 decibels.
Okay,
Oh,
what
and that's
is
right next to my.
Literally,
Oh.
like
that? Oh.
a chicken literally has a mechanism in its head
Yeah, I was gonna
that
say.
is like when it opens its beak completely, it shuts its ear canals,
Oh my god.
which is dope.
I mean, that's a cool like.
I don't
evolution.
do that, Matt.
But also, I'm a cranky boy when I wake up. Do you ever wake up though?
And now you are woken
It's because I never go to sleep.
by a chicken.
Well,
Ah!
1 second.
tell Cord to stop, please. Cord! Fucking
I'm
bird.
sorry, tapping cord.
Alarm clock.
You just tap on it.
Loading arrow. Loading bolt into crossbow. If that bird does not shut up.
Just Clark?
You have 10 seconds.
I'm gonna get up frantically.
Make an animal handling check.
I will shoot the bird. I will shoot the bird.
You'll have to get to me first.
The first. I was gonna say the
First
first step
party
of the
down.
party, but
Well,
what is up with you?
I don't know.
Oh.
He's been leaving.
It's been real, Cord. Because guess what?
So, just a straight 9? You don't have a modifier?
Nope. He has a plus
I have my
0.
dice back from here.
As Matt gets real comfortable with it.
Do I have to
I do,
roll
yes.
to hit the bird?
Wait, we'll see if he shuts up the bird first. Does the bird shut up?
It's not on your instruction, but you kind of get the idea that Cork has had their fill.
Okay, so he stops.
I'm like piling my body around Cork.
That would have been a 19.
Ooh.
I just stare at my stuff first and just kind of like...
Just for fun, roll damage for that, just because I want to see what would have happened.
The chicken would have died.
Yeah.
The chicken would have died.
8.
I see that's a 7, so yeah, just you would have killed Korg.
Can I look up Cork's stat
Or
line?
ends up becoming Flint's familiar.
We can look it up on the break.
Okay.
Anyway. Should we get going then?
Cork says to go, so we gotta go.
Right.
What's your name again?
Elio?
Elio. I just want to make sure I'm on.
It's not like we haven't been traveling with her for 3 sessions.
Well, you haven't.
Okay, we left last session, but we've been dealing with
Elio!
her for 3
Elio!
sessions.
There you go.
Elio,
Yes?
have you seen my new bird?
I saw it.
It's pretty neat, right? Say hi, Cork.
I really hope she just accidentally lets it slip.
Make an animal handling check.
Why would you name a female chicken? Why would you name a hen Cork?
Am I like 15?
15, okay.
Get used to it.
So as you provoke Korg to say hello to Elio, as you scratch its chin.
There you go.
What did I say?
Birdseed.
Okay. Yes, hello, Korg.
Is it a
Yes,
female
after
or
all,
a male
my-
chicken? Please God tell us.
Don't. Unless Elio finds it necessary.
What's
Go
just
back,
getting on her
please.
horse? Starting to like.
She's just leaving.
Gwen's like,
I'll help clean up camp, smoke the
In
fire.
the name of all that is holy, please tell me if this chicken is male or female.
Don't.
So you guys
Entropy.
close up camp and make travel for for the day. As you're setting off, Elio says, it should only be half a day or so, but it will also take a while to get into the inner city where we need to go.
And also,
Do they allow chickens?
I was about to say, please God tell me no.
I'm sure that they would,
Woo!
assuming you declare it.
Yeah, declared as mine.
We need a cage.
I'm just going over. Looking Carmen over.
Like Alia looks over and it's just
us giving her like the same, like just like we know.
it's just like this.
They're both riding on 2 different horses.
Carmen,
They're
it's
both
just us
slaying each
slumped on
other.
the ground by the horses together.
Carmen is holding her crossbow. One's helping him aim.
Carmen's trying to
a little to the left.
Gwen's trying to keep him from aiming it at his own head. It's just like.
Okay. So again, unless anyone has anything to do
No.
during travel.
No.
I'm gonna read
I'm gonna feed some
And I'm gonna-
sticks and stuff to my boom bag.
I thought you were gonna say I'm gonna feed some sticks and stuff to my chicken.
Sure, you can mark that you have another charge for your bag. I don't know how many you are at.
Sticks are good.
Sounds like something you're supposed to keep track of.
I didn't know how much we had. I used all of them last time.
You
Then I
used
put a
all of
bunch
them
of
last time.
I put a bunch of shit in there.
We'll say you have 2 charges.
Here, we'll find this. Let's see.
Yes, she's out.
Okay.
Okay, so.
TKO.
So, you travel for a few hours. It's.
Time check. It's 4:20. Hey!
You barely even like the sun has barely even made its way into the sky. Like, you can still see the coloration on the horizon. When you see a stone wall starting to appear in front of you. You see it goes for what you would assume to be miles. On this side of it, you can see patches of farmland and occasionally buildings,
But mostly just this.
but
Wow.
mostly just this wall catches your eye. And as you do, Eliel chimes in. There it is.
What is this place called again?
That is the capital city of Ashiya. Eshia. All right. Well, I don't. To be fair, I think city is putting it lightly, though.
Because it's well fortified.
And incredibly massive. It could take you probably a few days to get around on foot.
I don't want to do that.
Thankfully,
Right, we gotta ask. This
Thankfully-
whole reason we're going is because we're asking about this stupid rift.
I was hoping you wouldn't forget
So actually, we're kind of asking more about the riddle we got.
Well, we're asking about the riddle, but also
about the rift.
Yeah,
the rift.
The riddle about
because
the
there
rift.
is a rift in space and time in a basement
in a church.
in a church.
In
Why
some
does that sound like an
cases.
album? Rift in a basement.
I think we've said this before.
Did we?
I don't think we did.
No.
Anyway.
It was like this riddle.
I've just been to this place.
Anyway, thankfully the Empire has come up with ways around that, for our convenience at least. But either way, you guys make it to the wall itself after a few hours, and it goes about as high as you can see. Like, as you're approaching, there's about a good 30 minutes where you are inside of this thing's shadow.
I love that Lily and I did that simultaneously. By the way.
As you get to the gate, you see it is 3 or 4 times your own height of reinforced oak door.
Good God.
Yes.
What are they
Sorry.
keeping out?
Good babesh.
Yep. Let's see. As you get to the door, you can see a single human guard. And on either side of the door, there are 2 large metal statues. Each one seems to stand at attention with these comedically oversized hands. The guard has no visible weapons other than a crossbow on his back and a sword on his hip.
These are statues?
Is this like a castle town kind of thing, or
Yeah, kind of like a castle
okay, cool.
town-ish thing.
Explore my gardens?
So, Elio, how do we proceed?
Well, we go to the gate master and tell him to let us in.
All right.
Is that easy?
Yes.
No, we have to jump up and down 3 times, spin around counterclockwise, and then get on our hands and knees and bow 4 times.
And then say Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary.
No, babesh.
And he shows up. That's how I do.
Okay.
That's how my challenge divinity works. All right.
So as you approach, you see that the guard
I'm gonna do everything she just said.
on horseback.
Well, when we get to there, I'll know what to do.
Okay.
For note.
Okay. So,
We get it. You exist to make our lives difficult.
as you approach, the guard looks up from a board that he has. He holds up a hand, and he says, "Halt! Who goes there?" And as he says this, you see the 2 statues hold out their hand and cover the door.
It was that big that they like covered the door.
Well, they don't they're impeding. They're only probably like 8 feet tall.
Okay.
Like the statues are 8 feet tall. The hands are probably each 3 feet from like thumb to
Ooh,
the bottom of the hand.
I'll catch those hands.
Yeah.
ESHIA.
HIA.
Okay, I'll get it later.
Whatever.
It's
Okay.
5 letters.
Who goes there?
Oh.
What?
We are looking to pass through.
Hands and knees.
You grab spin around.
Oh, you're right.
Telling you.
Make an intelligence check to see if you spun counterclockwise. Because you've never encountered a clock.
It's 10. Intelligence
Mhm.
check. 11.
11. Okay. You get the idea. But you managed to spin counterclockwise.
What are you doing?
Carmia told me I had to do this to get inside.
I didn't think he would believe me.
He has a chicken now.
Alright.
Which I'm still actively.
Can I come in now?
Papers, please.
Paper.
Can I see those papers too?
Here. And Eliel walks forward and from her robe
She's the
pulls
one
out
leading the
paper.
party. Why are we in
I
front?
don't know. But she hands him the papers, and he takes a look at them. Oh, Miss Eliel, I'm terribly sorry for delaying you. And he hands the papers back. Please go inside, and the statues return to their standing position. I would suggest, though, for the rest of you, while you are in the city, you may want to stop in one of the offices to get your own travel papers. I assume
Duly noted.
you will not be.
Would I have any travel papers being from the town I'm from?
You've never traveled.
That's true.
You've never been to the city.
You're a hermit.
No, I'm not a hermit.
You're a haunted one,
I'm
aren't
a
you?
haunted one.
Yeah.
It's like
Come
hermit life.
So anyway, but you go into the city, and the door. The door opens, and you are met immediately by the sounds of city. There's chatter of bustling people. Buildings are stacked 3 or 4 stories tall.
This is much different from where I'm
Yes.
from. I like how the 3 of us, this is all the
Yep.
newest thing in the world.
And
This is our first time,
Yeah.
a city.
Wonder, disgust.
the street that you're on itself looks to be the main street. It's probably about 10 or 15 feet across.
Disney Street.
Yeah, it's
It's a
main
Disney
street.
Road. Yeah.
Discomfort.
Yeah. And you 3 all stop in amazement for a moment as Eliel continues to march up the street.
Oh, that's amazement.
Oh.
I'm just gonna keep walking.
Yeah.
That's a lot of noise.
So as you walk up the main street, you pass market stalls, people trying to sell their goods. It's all fairly simple stuff, selling food, selling bakery, baked goods. You do pass a cobbler selling shoes and whatnot. Your necessities.
So we're actively headed towards.
Yeah, she's leading you up this main street for some reason.
Okay.
When don't touch anything. Here, you can grab onto my dress so you don't get lost.
You just got parking lot rules. You just got
You
parking
did.
lot rules.
So anyway,
Holding my chicken and
yeah.
We need to get a vest for him that says prone to wander.
Yeah. But anyway, so she leads you up to a building made out of, you assume to be some kind of plaster drywall type material. And you can hear this strange rattling from behind the building. She,
I can't see
Cute to me.
no, you
keep my
cannot.
dog.
Yeah. She opens the door and, seeing that you two are, or you 3, I should say, are a little bit confused, I'm assuming.
Swipe it, yeah.
Yeah.
I am just.
Yeah. I think we're just overwhelmed.
You ever given a cat catnip?
Yeah. Oh my god, we need to find what is catnip to kobolds.
Some kind of
Actual drugs.
I imagine fresh meat. I don't know.
The 3 that I killed.
Man, I want.
Just give
Can
him
we
a
please
diamond.
invent a laser pointer in D&D?
Cast guiding light through tube.
But yeah, so she looks back. Oh, well, yes, I feel like I haven't been here before. we have to go this way to get into the upper city, or else we'll be walking for days.
What is this?
This is one of these stops for an auto carriage.
Oh, we high tech now.
Yes. So,
Auto carriage.
inside you see this
It's a
this
car.
this whole building is mainly meant to house one long rectangular carriage.
Is it double decker in red?
It is not.
Oh.
It is made out of simple, like light orange wood. And at the back of it, you see a man dressed in nice-ish clothes, like nice working
I'm
clothes.
actively trying to think of the words that stand for taxi.
But
Now we're all like, wait.
yeah, anyway, so there is a desk with someone behind a window, and they are handing out tickets and taking coin off of people for passage. Eliel walks up, hands her papers again, and you see the lady just like nods, says something, and hands the papers back. And Eliel comes back with her papers and 4 tickets.
Ooh, what's that?
They just read Upper City. She.
Oh my god.
I'm ready for it.
Yeah, she's handed them to you, but
Yeah.
just follow me. I'll show you what to do.
Alright.
She leads you up to the carriage, and at one of the doors there is a man. You see a burly Goliath man who seems more like he was forced to wear the outfit than actually choosing to.
He's someone who looks like a bellhop in really, really tiny clothes.
Kinda, yeah. Kinda. Like, he's one of those Goliaths where the sleeves are where he's drawing the line, but he still has to have the sleeves.
Oh, the tiny hat.
Oh yeah, he's probably like 7 foot tall.
How'd you get so big?
How'd you get so small?
So yeah, Guinevere, for you specifically, you see you have read about Goliath before, and you see the intricate tattoos that go up the bald head over his scalp and lead into his shirt. You can see that they poke out on the wrists of his shirt. And you see this man is struggling to fit in his outfit. Anyway.
He's huge.
And barely dressed.
No, he's not close, huh?
After
We're
this
just fine.
Just once again, Carmi.
Yeah.
Well, I'm picking up something. Carmen.
As you approach, tickets please.
Cordell's holding it.
And he just takes your tickets. All right. Enjoy. He doesn't seem happy.
Thank you, big man.
You should really petition for better clothes.
Yeah.
Petition?
Partition.
No, that's a different thing.
It's like if I wanted to get rid of your chicken, I would start a petition and people would sign it. And if enough people
I don't
signed
like
it,
petitions.
we'd have to get rid of your chicken.
No, it's getting
So,
record.
Eliel, would you please sign my petition?
Alright, so Elia leads you to a booth, effectively, of seats. She takes a seat herself and says, you're welcome to find a seat or stand if you like.
I'm going to stand.
I'm going to sit.
I am also going to sit.
I'm going to stand.
The view at the back window tends to be interesting for your first time.
I'm gonna follow you because I know you're gonna go down.
Okay, so about
And remember that metallic shuffling noise of the box car? Let's go.
Yeah, so 10 minutes pass. Starting to get a little bored, but people are filling onto the cart. And you hear, we'll be taking a break in a minute. You hear a loud whistle. And then at the back of the train, you see one of the a smaller human man dressed in the same way as the Goliath, except fitting. He walks up and produces a small wooden rod, waves it at the back of the cart, and whips his hand, and the cart juts forward. And with a rumbling sound that you realize is the sound you heard out front, it begins moving on its own over what you now see is a preset stone trackway. As it goes, you see it rise up over the rest of the city, but never above the wall. And you see you go past this densely packed urban sprawl. About an hour passes and you pass through another wall into a much nicer area. The buildings are less packed in. You can see some people have gardens or various plots of land even if they're not meant for them. And you can see people are out and about, but they seem much less busy than the people in the lower city. And then you pass another wall, and on the other side of that, you come to one massive palace. The cart turns into another station like you saw before, stops, and the doors open, and you see two elf men at the door, dressed much nicer than the people in the first station. Welcome to the palace. And we are going to take a break. Okay, so you guys step out into the palace grounds, and you realize that a lot of the people that were on this carriage with you were mostly tourists.
We in fact are not.
You in fact are not. You are here for a reason.
Are we dressed appropriately for?
Does the air taste like rich?
I don't know.
Yes. Yes, it does.
Ooh, what's rich air taste like?
I don't know.
Rich.
Not poor.
Steel from the rails grinding in the air.
Yeah, I don't know.
Small toes.
You're probably not dressed appropriately.
Right.
I mean, Guinevere might be.
I am
Guinevere is the most appropriate, but none of you are properly dressed to be here.
Good.
Do I look nice?
Right now?
I fix like one of my belts on it, like the
chicken poop running down his shoulder.
Put your arms back. Okay.
Alright, overall.
Okay, so
a spoiler that no one will get.
I don't think anyone cares.
Let's continue on.
So anyway, you all see what's going on, but did you just rip the head off of a gummy bear?
No,
Here at Gummy Bear Farms, we just treat the bears humanely.
That's a horrid image of you eating a gummy bear.
So anyway,
Someone give it.
You all kind of are taken aback by this again, but Eliel continues on her mission and walks straight up to the front gates. You see, again, more of those statues that you saw out front as they walk around the palace grounds in pairs of two.
Oh.
Yes.
Rocks don't do that.
These rocks do.
They're not supposed to do that.
I'm gonna turn to Eliel and I'm gonna have where are we'll follow you.
Okay. Yeah, it's not far to the council room from here. About 10 minutes. And she See, she leads you inside.
So are we going into this meeting with her, or
Yes.
are we? Oh no! Oh no!
Oh no! Corey, you better be on your best behavior.
Oh no, we're eating chicken.
Okay. As you get to the gate, you hear like someone acknowledges that Eliel is present, and then you see 3 guards appear. You see a human woman, a dwarf woman, and a dragonborn. You can't really tell it's dragonborn.
Uh-oh, there's a dragon.
Oh no!
Anyway,
Do I know?
that it's a dragonborn, yes.
Awesome.
Okay. The 3 of them lead you, again, about 10, 15 minutes into the palace through the various hallways to a set of ornate double doors, which they push open as the human woman just steps aside to let you all pass. Inside, you find a circular table. Inside
A
a...
round table, you might say.
Yeah,
We're
kind
going
of.
to the same place.
The room itself is actually circular. You see along the far side of the room there is a large stained glass window depicting something. You probably don't know what though.
Probably don't know, or really surely don't know.
How familiar are you with the establishment of the Empire?
Is that a history check?
That would be a history check.
I have a +1 in that, so no.
Okay, so, floating around the room, you do see these orbs of glowing light. Each of them glows like mostly white, a little bit blue. What was that?
Don't worry about it.
Did you just break your chair or some shit?
No,
Nope.
she took a silver shop and hit the floor.
Oh, okay. I don't care about that.
Let's not get to that point.
But yeah, so you see these basically crystal balls floating around that give off light as they
Oh, so they're not like
Around.
floating. Or, so are they?
It's not like dancing lights.
Okay.
Around the table you see 15 different seats.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yes. One at the far end of the room looks much more decorative than the others.
It's for kingly business or queenly business.
Yes.
Royalty.
You see a few people are already in the room. Each of them is dressed fairly nicely in their own way. You see a human man who Eliel points out is Ferdinand from Fornibosa. And he looks... He's a fairly handsome face.
Doduga?
Yes, you're looking for Doduga. Fairly handsome face, but very rotund body. Like the best way I can say it is that he was a male model, and then he retired. Yeah, he a big boy.
He got dead.
You got that dad bod.
No.
It's
No, he's
beyond
not.
dad bod.
Goron.
He's
Yeah.
got beer gut.
Off to one side of the room, you can see a bird person and and what looks like an elephant man.
So like a tall bird person or like
Big-
a
the-
small
tall-
black?
Tall bird
Feather.
person. They resemble a hawk.
Okay, so that kind of bird person.
Yeah. They seem to be talking to an elephant man.
Who we love. Does his name
No.
also start with
No.
is his name also a month of the year?
At the table, you see a human man with very a very beak-like face. Like, rather than a human's face where it's a plane with features on it, it's more like it all swoops towards his nose. It's not very attractive.
I'm trying to roll through my Rolodex of D&D races. I'm like, who the what?
Huh? Is it bad that I was like human man, and then when you go to the details, I just put in parentheses, gross.
But yeah, you see, he's got, slick back hair. He's wearing nice clothes, but he is completely covered in soot.
Dirty.
And
Gross and dirty.
yeah, he has a small knife, not even really a letter opener, that he's just picking some of the soot from under his nails.
Is this like a weird Nazi?
Nope.
I think so.
What?
What does he look like?
I think I
He
would
looks
be able to
vaguely
recognize
human.
originals. Is that ain't what we look like? I don't know.
And then standing off to the side, you see a 5-foot tall figure that is hunched with robes and a wrought iron mask covering its face. Of course, Eliel points to this figure and says, and that would be Doduga.
Oh, of course it's the creepy looking person.
Yep.
I mean, at least it's not the beat guy.
So, are they starting anytime soon?
Given the number of people that are present and the number of seats there are, it
There's
looks
currently
like
only
it's
5 of the people,
Yeah.
including Eliel. There's
Okay.
6 of the people that are supposed to be here.
Yeah,
so
6
would
of the
we have
15.
time to go talk to Monsieur?
Probably.
Do you want to go talk to Monsieur?
That's
what
why
we
you came here.
for.
Eeny, meeny.
It's me. Like, let's not pretend it's anybody
Hey,
else.
I have a 17 charisma.
Okay.
Then use it.
Yeah, when have you ever used it?
Yeah, anyway, so Eliel leads you up to this figure.
Hello.
Why are we letting this one go?
Nice mask.
Oh.
Good afternoon.
The nerve of these people, they don't have the respect to be here on time. Don't they know that there are more important things to be doing? They can't even be bothered.
So Doduga is a grumpy man who has a stutter.
This is the least of the priorities on my list today.
I really understand that. I appreciate punctuality as well.
Who are you?
Great question.
We are
Doduga? These are some of my newest acquaintances from...
We are
Not friends. She clears that up real quick.
They have...
But it's Eliel, not friend.
acquaintance.
They have something that I thought might be of interest to you. And now the hood and mask turn to face you.
What do we have that's of interest?
Favorite chicken.
I'm sorry, we're sorry, I'm not.
What is it that you need?
We
We found a weird portal thingy in the bottom of a church. I put my hand in it. My hand came out.
I'm showing him this one that my scales are all now oddly discolored and darkened.
I put my hand in it, and it did this.
Hey, Carby put his brain in it.
We heard you were,
It laughed at us.
I'm going to
Much like God.
a bleeding glance.
Bleeding from my
And
mouth.
I'm going to look.
It really hurt my hand.
Yeah, very well put.
Awesome. How about
Corn looks hungry.
I'll get food.
Okay.
And I wander to go find some food.
Okay, there we go.
so?
Uh,
This is an active problem. it quite literally is a rift.
Yeah, to clarify, a rift has made itself present in the basement of the church.
That's what he said.
Yeah. It seems to be a problem where it's causing possibly a tear between maybe another plane of existence of some kind. And we don't really know how to handle it. But we thought maybe we heard from Elio, who speaks quite highly of you, that you might have some information regarding it.
You.
Oh God.
Oh, you have to wait in your food.
Watch. Doduga's
Watch
Act
is secretly a kobold.
No,
The mask and everything, he's a kobold.
You
does
see,
not like
you see
me or
as he
you,
lifts
it
up-
just flip.
he lifts up his hand, and you can see his hands are covered in these thick leather gloves.
Watch, he's like a dragonborn. Something's going on. Yes!
And he grabs your arm and pulls. He's very unkind, very uncaring about it as he pulls it around to see your arm as best he can.
Sir, I am attached to this. You at least gotta give me a copper or something.
I like my arm. I need my arm. I'm very attached to my arm. That's a reference.
I see. And he drops your arm. I've been studying matters like this, actually.
Oh, really?
If you wouldn't mind following me to my quarters.
I'm more of a Nichols guy, but
This
That one doesn't exist here.
I'm more of a copper
Meeting.
myself.
has waited this long. It can wait longer.
Okay, stop talking over the guy that stutters. Anyway.
What else?
I don't know, I wasn't paying attention.
I don't know, but you talked over him stuttering and... Okay.
As long as it's no trouble, we would be happy to.
Okay, still, he turns and walks out through another pair of doors. I'm assuming you follow him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you okay?
He leads you.
He's not leading us for that.
He leads you through some more halls, to a
You have any of their bread?
darker area of the palace. It looks much less well kept than the area you've been through. And eventually you come up to a single plain wood door, which he opens. Oh my god, it's a mess. Oh my god, it's a mess.
But to me, it's perfect.
To Guinevere, it's a nightmare.
Yeah, no, there is
Carmen doesn't particularly care.
there is a circle where papers have been pushed aside by the door having opened so many times, and that's about all the floor you can see.
Oh my god. Okay, maybe
It's a problem.
It's
order.
It's papers strewn across the floor. There's you can see 2 desks with books piled high randomly.
Okay, why is this my room?
I'm just gonna try finding random sheets of paper.
Oh,
See if
please
I can
don't.
take some.
Okay.
You're already stealing.
Make a
from him.
perception check at disadvantage because this place is a mess. But despite this mess, you see he walks in and makes a beeline for one of the desks. Okay. You see that every page you look at is covered front and back with ink, written in a language that you don't know.
Say that not touching.
But
These are my things.
No, not your things. Someone else's
Okay,
room.
you see as Doduga makes a beeline for one of the desks,
I'm just gonna walk up to you.
grabs a handful of the books and sets them aside, opens another one and flips exactly to a page, almost like he had marked it before you showed up.
I don't.
What are you doing?
Okay. Okay. These have been happening all over the place.
The rips?
Most of them don't last very long. But sometimes it's enough for something to get through.
I don't know what.
Like, typically, like, the energy in Marshfield, where you were.
Oh, so there are rips to multiple places.
Yes. It wouldn't be unheard of to have one to the far realms, but that is a very difficult plane to reach from here, as it is the farthest from the material world.
I'll tell him about the dream we had.
Oh my god. That wasn't to you.
Well, I'm going through my notes. I'm like, wait a minute. I took notes on all of that.
Is there any possibility that people can get nightmares caused by interacting with entities?
I suppose.
We had dreams.
The subtlety is just.
Wait, you said, correct me if I'm wrong, Gail. But after that we had marks or cuts or something like that?
Yes, you had wounds from the nightmare.
Are they still apparent now?
Probably not.
Would we have scars?
Not given the way you heal in D&D.
My arm's broken. Alright, it's not.
Suddenly it's every night there's a fairy that comes and heals all of the wounds of all of the people.
But she's very shy and only does it when you're asleep for a long time.
So, do you happen to know any other areas where rifts have popped up? Bless you.
You said...
Professional bless you.
You said yours was to the far realm?
It was black stars. And I heard laughter.
Well, I've been...
Yes, it does. Yes. I had to check my notes to make sure. It does.
I think Bash actually
told me
you.
that. Yeah.
I've been looking into these things, and he opens a cabinet on one of the drawers and pulls out what looks like kind of a I don't want to say time turner, but basically a time turner. Like it's got a crystal in the center of this gyroscope.
Oh, okay.
It's a time turner.
It's a
Harry
Harry
Potter
Potter thing.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Either way, but it's like you see this crystal being held up in a ring, and then there are 3 or 4 other rings that are around it. And as he pulls it out, he spins it, and you see like all the rings start changing, and you hear it starting to whir just a little bit. And the crystal begins to glow faintly. There's actually another one that I can feel from here.
So it's here in this
No.
laundry? Okay.
Oh, in the country, yes. It's not in the city.
Where would that be?
It's from the south. So
Closer to
I
this.
think it's probably on the far coast of Desag. It'll take a while to get there.
Do you have any theories as to why this may be happening?
And he closes his book, puts it down without looking, grabs another book, and opens it. Do you have time?
I mean, we came here specifically for this.
But we came to speak with
You
you.
can ask me about the riddle.
Well, yeah, that too.
Yeah. So he begins ranting about how this is probably from something is causing the planes to become closer to each other.
You're talking like I actually don't want to hear all this BS.
Well, I don't
I
want to talk in his slow, stuttering voice because it also takes a lot of work to remember what letters he's stuttering on because there are specific letters for a reason. Anyway. Yep.
Suddenly we have acquired a puffball
Hello,
that wants
Tim.
to eat something.
But he goes on to explain that the planes usually have a certain distance between them, distance is with quotations because it's not like, you walk so far and you will reach the end of the material.
It's not like I take I-90 then you end up in...
Like you're on the material plane, you go down for 5 miles, take a right, and you'll be on the Feywild.
Yeah.
But like, they have begun to like press to each other. And he actually busts out another model, which looks more like kind of like a wedding cake.
Who's getting married?
On the top there is, he says, is the material plane, and then alongside it there is the Feywild and the Shadowfell.
It takes a lot of study before being a blood hunter to become a blood hunter.
Yeah.
So this is like Carmia's bread and butter. Carmia's yeah.
Carmia's just listen to it.
Give me the war.
Yeah, so there's the Shadowfell and the Feywild, which are parallels to the material plane.
Right.
Carmias, you would know that they are like mirrored reflections of our plane. Beneath that is the ethereal plane, which filters the energy from the 4 elemental planes. Then past them are the outer planes, separated by the astral plane, where you have all the like alignment planes, like you have Mechanus and the 9 Hells and the Abyss and all of them. And then past that, there is supposedly the Far Realms. And on the inside of this, there is the Spire, which is where all of the outer planes basically form an island, where there's like slivers of each plane, which leads into a spike, where there is a floating city on a ring, which is supposedly linked to every other plane in existence. For obvious reasons, it is very difficult to get there.
Hey, guess what? We're gonna have to get there.
Probably. Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
You do.
No, I don't. So he just kind of dumps this all on you over the course of like the next half hour.
And Carmia's like,
When it's just standing in the doorway too. Not even.
You've never seen Carmia so interested.
Yeah.
I'm like poking my chicken.
So, but he looks to you all expectantly. Why are you here?
Elio recommended you. We were also presented with a little bit of a tricky riddle, and she says you're quite good at those, so we thought maybe you could help us understand what it means.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Should we do Gwen's voice?
Do it.
The mouth preaches glory to a legion from the sea. The hand sifts for treasures from the deep. The fist lays waste to those who oppose, while eyes observe from deep below. The will hides and waits in a wood long forgotten, all for a king whose wrath is unbegotten.
And we got that directly from
And this was left to be interpreted?
From what we can surmise.
Yeah.
Even Elia was surprised and didn't quite understand what it meant.
Apparently, I usually use some cagey with information.
No. She's supposed to be rather forward.
I
She.
suspect someone's blocking her.
What? Well, it sounds more like it's things to come than something that is known.
Litty titty.
I'm
Prometheus just says that.
I'm surprised this came from Irene, as it's more in the realm of Istis.
Could you die?
Istis? Well, make a religion check.
Yeehaw! Yeena! Hold on. I'm not gonna get you guys better. You know! It's 9.
10.
7.
Okay.
How is it kobold? I rolled a 3. What do you want from me?
So Flint, in your travels, you've actually heard of Istis. You haven't heard much. You don't know much about her, but you do know that she is the goddess of fate and time, and you know that her main thing is that she weaves the threads of fate to create the fabric of reality. Metaphorically, of course.
How do you spell prophecy?
ECY.
It don't look right.
We can correct it later.
Quick, spell check, chat.
Allie, how do you spell prophecy? Haha!
Why is it the wrong?
Because it's the word prophecy.
Probably don't see the word prophecy written very much.
Unless you're religious.
But yeah, she's the god of fate. She's the god of fate!
I blurb out everything that was explained to me.
That's how I remember it, at least.
What did you do it wrong?
I suspect that these are more hints at what you're going for.
Any possible ideas?
Or
Just be hints out?
once again, broadcasting upset.
Well, typically when individuals are explained as pieces of a greater. Ooh, yeah, I did that. I've done that. I bruised my funny bone the other day. Like, I hit my elbow and it bruised over my funny bone.
Ouch. My lord, please.
Okay, yes. So, what was I saying?
Pieces.
Yeah, pieces of a greater. Yes. So, these are probably members of a group that have something to do with this king.
Question, sir.
Mm.
You have an extra writing kit?
Oh my god.
God.
I want to keep notes like you.
Flint.
I do.
Could I have it? We can exchange some gold.
Flint probably right now is not the time.
You see Doduga is already like looking through his shelves.
Shit.
I had an even better question that was relative to this.
And he ends up opening one of his cabinets, reaches up, and pulls out a small wooden box, which he just hands to Flint.
If you don't mind, I have another question.
Now it's got a lot better!
Anyway,
I don't know too much about them myself, but are you familiar with a group that I believe is called the Iresfelt?
so you say this name, and the room goes cold. He shoves you into the room and slams the door.
Oh no!
Do not speak that name in the city.
Yeah.
Right?
Would have flunked it.
I don't want to hear it. At least I asked something that seems to be pertinent.
I got colored pens.
Great.
One can take notes now.
The Ires Might are a rebellion.
Oh yeah, it's probably stupid to say that in a kingdom.
I don't know much about them.
The Sentinels are instructed to arrest anybody the second they speak that name.
The Sentinels?
The big
Oh, are those
rock guys?
handed fellows outside?
Yes. They guard the city better than any employed guard does.
What's the Irish rebelling against?
The Empire. They think that magic has made us weak and corrupt. They believe that magic that is from the South lacks governance. And
I suppose mine would be bad then, huh?
they seek to erase any magic they believe is not divine in origin.
Yeah, so you're fine.
No, you're not.
Oh wait, because you're not from a big god.
I mean, my God, that's
They will not respect yours. They will treat you like any other.
technically the magic's divine.
Not to them.
Yeah.
DI.
Man, it is really bad today.
It's hard out here being illiterate.
I'm in college.
Are you?
Call herself Oh, wait, way to go for her neck.
I'm getting my degree.
It's not spelling.
How do you know my teacher magic won't be divine to them?
You do church stuff, right?
You're not here.
I thought I was.
You are.
Nope.
Yeah, we're all in the
You're
room.
all in the room.
Oh, we all in the room?
You said
Okay.
you were standing
I
in
was
the
sure
doorway.
you just freaking shut me in the room.
No, he shoved you in because you were the
Okay.
only one who wasn't in the room.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, I remember saying it.
your god is
You don't know anything about that.
I saw you pray. I saw you stick your head.
That's not how I do it.
You said it, you did.
No, you folks said I did. I said I spoke to a puddle, not waterboarded myself.
Semantics.
Still spoke to a puddle of water.
I just have a water god.
Your magic does not come from a god they recognize.
And also you correct us with Babesh all the time. All the time.
She has you there. Point, Carbian.
Left hanging.
Okay. That was important information that I just got.
Yeah, that wasn't where I was expecting this to go.
Get this big brain up here.
It's big brain time.
This is what happens when you have. I'm taking good notes, and I know about.
I'm coloring!
Okay, so
Do you think they have anything to do with the problems with the planes?
I don't think so. It's outside of
well, there are two people
what
in this
they
game.
do.
And one of them is religion.
Organized religion.
You're in my house.
To be fair, extremist religion.
There we go. Thank you. Thank you.
Anyway.
Okay, so
My nose has got so pretty.
Anyway.
I keep calling him Carbian. Why do I keep calling him Carbian? Flint and his chicken. Do you have your chicken with you?
Yeah, my chicken's on me. You don't keep that thing on me. Ain't that right? Give us some bread.
Okay.
Start teaching you tricks.
Well, thank you. Do that.
Like I say, I recommend starting in Desag. Go to their capital. You should see from there. Well,
Wait.
thoughts back, thoughts gone.
Alright, well, I don't want to be rude and burden you in your lovely home. So. Square is just standing like hands at side, trying not to touch like
Any of the mess.
Projected
Yeah.
to what? Let's go.
Isn't there a meeting? We should be getting back right over. Very important meeting to be attending.
I'm
I love you watching.
What?
I love watching you play religion.
apparently one of the few who thinks so. And he walks on the room.
I briskly walk behind him. Get me out of this.
I didn't like that at all.
I feel the man's breath in the room.
Why were you standing? Why are you
sitting there? I don't
Why
like
were you
this.
standing in the doorway?
I don't
How you doing there,
I don't do
Corey?
well with this. I don't do well with clutter.
I hear you.
I'm
It's-
organized.
Well, learn a trick. Let's see if you can fly.
Hey,
I
but
throw him
if
up
you
in the
had
air.
walked into the room, he wouldn't have had to grab you.
Uh,
As we're having a one-sided conversation again.
uh-huh. Anyway, yeah, Doduga doesn't even acknowledge that that's happening. He makes his
Love
way
that.
back to the conference room.
Get fucking killed. It's a witch. A witch.
And he returns to standing.
And being upset.
Yes.
Have any other people made their way in now?
Yeah,
Nope.
anybody? We were in there for like 45 minutes.
And nobody knew has arrived.
Man.
I'm gonna walk over to like Elio and be like, "This is a common occurrence."
People are so late.
Sadly, it seems to be the state of affairs. And you see the one man who was covered in soot and was picking his nails now has his feet kicked up on the table. And he calls out,
Like, did he have shoes on?
he's got shoes on.
Okay, I don't
They
know.
are covered in soot though.
I straight up thought you were gonna be like, he's picking
dressed-
like stuff out of his nails, so he puts his feet up there and he just starts picking his toenails.
No, like, he's wearing a tailored suit.
Hey man,
It's just covered in soot.
just because you're wearing a tailored suit doesn't mean you have to have shoes on or have class.
Clearly.
Welcome to my high school prom.
Man with feet on the table.
He's still just picking at his nails. The Emperor didn't even show up. Shows how much he cares.
Hi. How are you?
Oh my god, I'm going to take him by the tail and I'm going to drag him to the corner, the back corner of the room, and I'm going to look at you and be like, stay here with each other.
You're gonna put in time out. You're gonna put in time out with a chicken.
Why can't I go out there?
Because you and I are going to stand here.
Who's standing
So I'm alone with Elio.
You are alone with Elio.
Right.
We're
And
in the room still, we're just in the
She,
corner.
like, side glares the man. Well,
Because we are not needed at this function.
he could learn to be more
Functional?
tactful about it, but unfortunately Soot is right.
Oh, his name is
Is
Soot.
His name is Soot.
Oh my god.
Is this the one with the beak-like features?
Mhm.
No.
I told you, you were standing here with me. No.
But at this point it's getting quite late. I don't think this is happening today.
Carvey, make a wisdom saving throw.
Well, at least we got to speak to Doduga, so...
You did. You got what you needed at least.
You got that
I'm
that
sorry
you're done.
that your meeting isn't going the way you expected it to, though.
Alright,
What were you supposed to discuss again?
Law, how to handle matters outside the city.
So is this a meeting of the churches? Or is this like...
It's like representatives from each
It's-
country.
Looking around,
chancellors
you kind of see that AUC Ferdinand is the high overseer from Fornivosa.
I didn't know.
You recognize that he was the man who got the gems
He's the guy
stolen
with
from
the
him.
gems.
And
Oh, that
when
dude.
Elio came in, she pointed out that he was Ferdinand.
Right.
And also you see no one else is really wearing anything religious.
Okay, so
It's more just leadership.
Okay, so it's just like representation.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah. Okay. So yeah. So you just see Elio like pinches her nose. Okay. Well, they have to be traveling by this point, so it's a matter of time. I guess we shack up for the night.
Any recommendations?
I actually have a reservation.
Oh.
If you would like to follow with me.
Why not?
Okay, and she leads you out of the palace and into. No, she leads you out of the palace and to a different auto carriage that takes you into the upper city.
Mm-hmm.
And she leads you to a building that is 2 stories. And you can see as you approach there are balconies on the 2nd floor.
Mm-hmm.
And a sign hangs over the door that is marked "The Satin Skies."
I love it.
Also, Alex, take one of the red pens and put a crest on the top of that chicken head. Looks like a dove.
Thank you.
The satin.
The satin
The
skies.
Satin Skies.
Looks like you gave him a freaking fiery mohawk. I love it.
Have you stayed here before, Elio?
Yes, I stay here frequently. As she leads you inside,
How much is this gonna be? I ain't got that much money.
I just got Friday Kit for free.
as you walk inside, you see it is beautifully dark.
Oh, this is gonna be like.
In like in the way of like, you know, a clear night sky is, where like everything's like vaguely lit by the moon. And you look up and you can see like starlights.
This is gonna be expensive.
Looking around, you can see there is a slightly raised platform where you see a man with entirely blue features, light blue skin, dark blue hair.
Is he wet?
He is quite damp. He's like playing a lute as he's sitting in a stool playing a lute, and he's singing about something.
Water?
You get the idea he's flipping between two languages. In common, it's quite vulgar, actually.
It's like mermaids moves.
Yeah, like a very short version of it. He's singing about how much he gets. Like, it's so easy for him. Blah blah blah.
What's the other language?
Well, the other language sounds like it sounds jarringly elegant compared to the words that you can understand. It sounds like a rip, like a stream in the woods.
Does it happen to be Elvish?
No.
Oh.
Guinevere,
Celestial?
you actually do understand what he's saying.
Oh, so it is
As-
celestial.
No. He's swapping languages. In this other language, which you would recognize to be Aquan, which is a dialect of Primordial.
Okay.
Yes, specifically, Aquan is the language Babesh speaks.
Oh, great. I'm gonna get compared to this guy in every way.
As long as it's not. Watch it be like in. Watch the next one be like in.
It's like every other line. Like, he's talking about like how easy it is for him to like get with a woman, and then the next line is him talking about a very specific woman, and he sounds mournful, and he's talking about like one of the lines specifically that you pick out is that she has like, you know, her hair is like moonlight and my heart is the tides. Yeah, it's overly poetic, and in Aquan it would sound better,
Yeah.
but in Common it doesn't quite line up.
Yeah.
But you know, like my heart, comparing himself to the ocean and her to the moon.
Sweet.
And you gather that it's probably a play on race, as you would you recognize him to be of some Aquan descent. If the three of you want to
Does he
make...
seem like he's like me?
No.
Okay.
I know what he is.
You can all make a nature check if you want
Sure.
to try and
I'm
figure
now
out his
curious.
race.
He's caught my attention. He's speaking Auckland.
An 11.
What check? Nature?
Nature.
Sure.
Really? I think it's a lot.
17.
17.
17.
17.
I'm done.
Okay.
That was loud.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
you two
Guys.
actually have probably encountered one of these before. The blue skin and blue hair kind of makes you, like, gives it away that he's some kind of aquatic race.
Mhm.
But specifically,
That's
yeah, you see he has fins coming out of his forearm and out of his calves.
It's you!
And you recognize that he is a Triton. You also noticed as he's singing in Common, he does have a lisp.
I love him.
Yeah.
I love him.
Yes.
So
Um,
all the Why is he saying that? Thank you.
behind the counter, you see a large,
Mentally nudging you.
beefy half-orc man. His hair is gray. It is long about to the base of his shoulders, and the front half of it is pulled back into a ponytail, Witcher style.
Ooh. Ooh.
Yes.
Have I ever mentioned that I love him?
He's dressed very simply, like white like rough shirt, apron, pants. He keeps the shirt rolled up to about.
These are my
Like,
notes.
Certified beef.
The shirt is rolled up, maybe a little bit to show off because it's rolled up exactly where his bicep starts.
Oh!
I'm
Love.
uncomfortable being the only woman in this party.
Like Carmi at the glitter, like
You guys are like looking at the decor, and Gwen's like, oh, there's a man there.
Guinevere's just like, Carmen's just like, he's bigger than me.
Not even like that. He's just like,
He make a fine tribe leader.
Yeah. You see, one of his tusks is actually snapped, blunt.
I love it.
And other than that, that's kind of all that you can really notice of him.
Other than the fact that I love it.
And as you come in, he acknowledges the four of you come in. Who are they?
I love him.
Vekmu, these are...
What is his name?
His name is Vekmu. Vekmu.
I like his name.
For the record, you wouldn't know this in-game, but his last name is Red Rage.
Nice.
I don't want to find out why.
No, you don't. These are my traveling companions for this time.
She hates us. She just keeps making a point to make sure we're not friends.
Business was supposed to be taken care of by now, but as always, things are delayed, so they are needing a place to stay. And you see he like raises an eyebrow at her, and you're recommending them?
Oh god. Oh god.
Yes.
There's a fucking kobold with a chicken on his shoulder.
Yeah, she like looks over at the three of you. Yes. I will personally say that they are worth your efforts. And you see he immediately grins.
Oh, he put on the customer
Tough boy
service
ass.
face.
Yeah. Well, in that case, then they are welcome to any room they like.
How much? How much is the room?
Your first night is free.
Oh, how much is the room after that?
Let me check.
It's gold. It's
really yeah.
nice. It's the really nice gold.
Yeah, it's expensive.
It's 10 gold.
There it is.
7. You're sleeping outside.
Yeah, it'd be about a gold.
Can I sleep in the bar?
Where's your married?
Since it's your
name's Carmi.
first night, food and drink are on the house.
Thank you very much. Missing a bar. We are missing a bar.
Oh no, you just got one now. He's standing over the corner talking about how much puss he gets.
Yeah, being Mr. Big Man, big talk, and then awkward, like, hello.
Yeah, it's literally like...
Did we notice the bits where he's going quiet?
Well, it's not that he's going quiet.
Or not
He's
quiet.
changing languages.
Oh, I thought I was going quiet.
No, he
No,
like
sings in
sings
one language and
It-
then
it's
sings
literally
in
like him
another.
talking-
Every other
Like-
line.
Oh!
Don't worry.
I'm so excited.
Anyway.
Yes, Flint.
He's like you. He's like you.
Anyway, is there anything that you would like for dinner? And anything to drink?
How do you feel about cooking a chicken?
Do I hear this?
I thought he was being secretive about it.
Yeah, no, you hear.
You're not killing corn.
It wouldn't be killing, it would be sacrificing for a good dinner.
No.
I have
Starve.
chicken, if that's what you want.
No, but that was
It's farm raised.
It's free reign.
Refrain.
Yeah, yes.
Most of them are.
fed off of Fey Wild grain.
Haven't heard of that before.
And you won't kill it either.
But
If you can kill it.
I'm not going to slaughter anything in my own store.
Would you turn a blind eye about that.
That might be an app.
Fine.
And he
The bird.
Alright, well, and he hands you a whole ass menu. And one thing
I
you know
can't read.
is that on the back there is specialty drinks, which are handwritten. Currently there are only 3.
What are the drinks?
There is
You're
the
not old enough.
I'm a full-ass adult in Kobold.
there is the gin and tonic, as in DJIN
Oh.
and tonic. The celestial sunrise, and the bloody Maryland. Okay, so you see that each of them is marked that they are 4 silver each.
Celestial sunrise.
The gin and tonic, and the bloody Maryland.
What is the bloody Maryland?
I'm guessing Bloody Mary.
Oh, you've seen those. Those are special drinks I've been working on. It's really hard not to stutter now.
Yeah. Once you started, it's hard to stop.
They're hard to make, so they're a little more pricey, but for tonight, as I said, they're on the house.
Oh, they're on the.
I'll have one of each.
Okay. So in that case, would anyone else like any of them? I will be
Try the blood one.
the bloody Maryland.
Try the blood one.
It just sticks with going in the boiler.
Okay, I need to pull up my notes for this.
Oh,
I see blood.
There,
I do it.
Gwen,
Yes, Flint.
he's like you. Can you understand him?
If you're talking about his singing, yes, I do understand what he's saying. That doesn't mean we're exactly the same.
What is he saying?
He's singing forlorn love.
What's forlorn? What is he? He's just singing about the words forlorn love?
No,
No,
it means he's singing about someone that he loved that he lost.
Oh, that's nice.
Although I don't
It's
really.
actually quite sad.
But he's also talking about how much.
It seems as though in common
Yeah.
it seems as though some in English speak it's quite vulgar. But in Auckland it's lovely.
Really? Nice.
Fish
guess-
man.
If you'd like, I guess you can make an insight check on why that is.
Sure.
Um,
I don't think any of us can. Because we can't.
yeah, you can't really understand what he's saying. Well, actually, you two
Oh
can,
my god.
you two
Don't
can
ever
make it
try
a
and
disadvantage.
Huh?
You two can try a disadvantage because you can't understand.
Sure.
23.
23. Okay.
You give me a chance to roll a roll.
Yeah.
oh, that's actually really good.
That's a natural 1.
Insight,
At advantage.
disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
Oh yeah,
I
disadvantage.
got 4 other the other one's a 4, so
10.
23.
Okay, so Flint, you don't really understand. He's talking another language,
Yeah.
man.
It might be.
It's hard enough. It's hard enough as it is. Guinevere, you get the idea that the reason he's doing this is kind of to play up the idea that he's like maintaining face, where it's like he's talking so vulgarly in common to show someone that the things he's saying in Aquan don't hurt as much as what he's saying in Aquan says that they do.
Okay.
Wait, what?
He's acting like
I
it
know
hurts
that you know
less.
that I know that I know what you know.
Yeah.
He's trying to act like it hurts less than it does.
Okay, yeah, so he's just showing face like he's a bad boy player, but really
Yeah.
he's a sap.
Yeah, he's a soft boy who has found his one true love and she left.
Yeah.
Repeatedly.
Me
Oh, repeatedly.
From the line about the tithes, you get the idea that like,
coming and going.
yeah, they're on and
tides.
off.
Oh.
And he really, really, really wishes they were just on.
It might be music.
He actually called you a bitch at one point.
So, either way. So you want the Bloody Marilith? You want all 3? Do you want anything?
Oh, we're gonna get it. With
Okay, so he brings you water. And I need to look up how
Well, they go on there, Granny Adventure. I actually want to go talk to Bard.
Oh, can Carmiette and Flint just have a bro time? Just get plastered.
While Flint's drunk, they burn the chicken.
What's mine is corn.
I was gonna say straight up though. Wait, hold on. I get you plastered. Me, I pretend. I kill the chicken.
Okay, so
Where's corn?
I need your 2 Constitution modifiers.
Oh no. My con mod?
Yeah.
14 plus
No,
2.
yeah, plus 2. That's
Okay.
what he wants. Also plus 2.
It's
It's also
plus 2.
Plus 2. Okay.
Let's
So,
go. Is yours a 14?
I don't know. I think mine might be. I think yours is also 14.
So he brings out. He starts by bringing out 2 Bloody Marlets,
Awesome.
which he keeps in very simple, like, effectively whiskey glasses.
Watch us make us.
He puts them on the table. They look like tomato juice. And as he sets them down on the table, you see they tremble.
Oh my god, it's Jello. It's a Jello shot.
No, like
No, like they vibrate.
it looks
inside.
like I'm holding the glasses.
Oh.
Like
Corn, you want some?
Don't get the chicken drunk.
Let's get this chicken fucked up! This is Cork's, Flint's, and Garnet's
I want to
great
put it for social
adventure.
media of just listening to this chicken fucked up with no context.
as you drink it, it tastes. You can
give some
tell.
to my chicken.
Okay, you give some to Korg.
Korg
I
immediately
need you to look up Korg's stats now.
Corn immediately dies.
Court dies from this drink.
From alcohol poisoning.
I laughed so hard.
I don't think you can give birds tomatoes.
We'll see what happens.
But yeah, as you drink it, it tastes very clearly of strong spirits. But you can also taste ground pepper.
Ooh.
And sour tomato juice.
It's a
It's
brunch
fine.
drink.
It's a -1.
It's a brunch shot.
Okay.
His strength is a -4 if that makes up for it.
And despite the small amount that you have drunk, you do both feel fairly buzzed.
I'm so afraid that they're gonna start coming to Gwen. Drink, Gwen.
That's it.
Yeah. You are right there.
Yeah,
Like,
that's...
you could, like, smell a shot and you will be drunk, kind of feel.
I'm done. That's it.
Okay.
Oh,
Also,
God.
as you drink it, you feel it's hot as it runs down your throat and hits your stomach, and the heat radiates to your body, and you can't sit still. You feel jittery, and you, at the slightest provocation, are tempted to react. And for the next minute, you have an extra reaction.
Okay, we're gonna pass. Okay, thank God.
Yeah, the jittering stops, but you are still
Oh,
intoxicated.
Jesus, I'm bouncing the
Okay,
table.
Yeah.
I'm
Can't
sorry.
stop bouncing the table.
Okay.
Is
He's
it bring
gonna
back the other
knock
2
back
shots?
to gin and tonic.
Would you like the others?
Yes.
Okay.
How's my chicken buddy doing? Is he like, he's just like,
He's asleep.
he's asleep.
He's out. Yeah.
He's out.
Okay, that's good.
Again, it's night.
These are strong.
Yeah, and it's strong.
It's enough to get me. Oh no.
Oh yeah.
It is enough to get me buzzed, and I'm a 6'2" man.
Well, I have I want to say a quote-unquote
You are
dragon's lead
8
belly.
and a half feet tall.
You know
which
what?
would you like next?
I'm ordering the gin because I
getting her-
have to because it's
Okay,
Gwen.
in that case,
I'm getting her the
two-
celestial. I'm
Okay.
giving her the celestial.
Well, he will bring out
Oh,
2 gin and tonics then.
That's like-
I
three.
will be the designated driver.
Korg is one underneath my hat.
As he brings out the glasses, you see it's a mostly clear liquid, ever so slightly blue, and you see there is a layer of fog on top that spins.
Pops out.
Girl.
No, he'd probably be like, yes!
You see it looks like it's stirring itself.
Con is a +4.
Okay.
Whoa.
She's
You don't drink?
a cleric. No, that means she drinks a lot.
Well, I drink wine.
Okay.
Just sneak a couple nips of that communion wine.
That's right.
It's been such a long day. I need some communion.
Gwen doesn't
Jesus juice on a cooch.
I think Gwen doesn't 100% realize that specialty drink means alcohol. I think she just saw gin and was
Gin
like,
and was
yeah,
like, God.
Okay. Please.
Okay.
Please give me this.
So
I
you-
need these both.
you drink it?
To be.
And it's refreshingly smooth. It's a little bit bubbly, and it tastes of juniper, elderberries, and white peach.
Ooh, that sounds actually really good.
That actually does sound
Yeah.
yummy.
We now have to make this. Someone get some dry ice, that'll make the fog.
As you drink it, you feel a little bit of the bubbles pull back up, and you can't help yourself from burping a little bit.
God damn it.
And as you do,
Yeah, yours comes up.
Yeah.
as Guinevere, it's easier to explain on you because of Flint's appearance. As you do, you feel the hem of your dress begin to move, and your hair begins to move
More.
more. And like looking down at yourself, it looks like you are standing in a swirling breeze.
Oh, you just cast arrow.
Kind of.
Just
Not that bad. It's just
all I
like
can think of
it's just
Marilyn
like
Monroe
dramatic.
game.
No, not Marilyn Monroe. Just like dramatically like shifting
So-
your gown.
How's
Okay.
she feeling?
She feels fine.
How are you feeling?
You're fucked. Dude, the rules is that you have one drink for your constitution modifier, and because these are magic, they count as 2. You were almost fucked because your con modifier was 2. You're now at double what you can handle.
Are we gonna give him alcohol poisoning?
Well,
So, you're fucked.
Wait, hold on. He's gotta drink. She's gotta drink the sunrise.
Yeah, and
I'm
then
gonna give the thing the sunrise. He's a great singer.
Oh, we're not giving it to her.
he comes forward and is like, I can bring you both one.
Matt cracking his fingers for a good night.
I am going to the singer with the celestial sunrise.
Okay.
There's your magic girlfriend!
Mind your volume.
There's your magic girlfriend! There it is! This is for you, buddy! I lost my whole family! They're all dead! Kaputz!
Gwen starts just taking the drink and just tipping.
There you go!
Force feed of it.
Yeah, just shut up.
No! This is for you, buddy!
Okay, he
Flint just misses his
takes the
mouth.
drink. I guess you're handing him the
Or you
drink.
Yeah, I'm giving him celestial sunrise.
And you have another one. You got a second one.
Thank
You
you.
can
brought-
have a second one
Yeah,
if
he
you want.
brought 2.
No.
Again, he did not bring 2. He offered
Okay,
to
he
bring
offered 2.
So did you ask for 2?
No, I asked for 3 shots. I got 1, 2, and this is the third one going to him.
It's not a shot.
Whatever.
It's a
It's
cocktail.
a drink.
Yeah.
Well, you said they came in whiskey things, so that's why I'm taking a shot.
Okay, so anyway.
Okay.
Well, I don't have to describe how it tastes then.
I want
You could do it.
to
for flavor.
take my drink and walk over to the bard.
We both just offered a drink to the bard.
I didn't offer a drink to the bard. I'm taking mine with me.
Oh.
I don't chug mine in
I
one
was gonna say,
sitting.
is it still the
Apparently
gin
you
and
do.
tonic, or is it?
Yeah, it's just the gin and tonic. I
Okay.
did not get another drink, so I'm not going
Okay.
to be asking for them.
So yeah, your clothes will be moving like that for the next hour.
Great. It's just like the rest of me, so.
Flint, you feel a breeze.
What is your loincloth?
I wear pants. I stole them, but I wear them.
I'm just gonna nurse my buzz with
Yeah.
a glass of water.
Yeah, he brings you some water.
Okay, thanks.
You see Eliel has completely circumvented that, and is just like in her little like
Well, we're adventurers.
turkey pot roast.
Yeah, what's for dinner? Like, can I have like some actual food? I just drank that on an empty
You
stomach.
did.
Does it taste good?
He takes the drink and he looks back at move. Is this on me?
No, it's not us!
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was for them. And he throws it back.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah, his
The whole
constitution has
thing.
got to be like, oh.
and
He passes out.
like he throws it back, And like you see there's the moment just So anyway, and as he's talking, light shines out of his mouth.
Oh!
Standing in front of him, it is bright light. Specifically, bright light comes out in a 60-foot cone.
I want some pop.
He's a lantern. He's a torch now. Well, he's a lantern.
Everyone's just like this.
It burns!
We see someone melting.
I wanted to
It's
see
vampire.
it. Let's
May
see
I
how
have
that
some
can
pot
go.
roast and then go to bed?
Yeah, I was gonna say, for time's sake, we're just gonna do dinner and go to bed.
I was gonna
Okay.
ask him some questions, but who cares?
You
Yeah,
can
I
ask
was
him
gonna
next-
talk to
You can
him,
ask
but-
him in the morning.
Okay.
So you guys eat, and Vecmu is just like, alright, Bentley, and he slams his hand on the desk. Bentley, take them to their rooms.
Yeah, I'm sure he wants to go for a walk.
I'm gonna pick up you.
I'm holding this chicken like it's my last day on Earth.
And from behind the counter, you see out hops a closet.
A what?
A closet.
Oh, I thought you said a closet.
Yeah, a whole ass closet.
What is a closet?
It is a
It's
small green demon.
Ah, is it a demon or a devil?
It's a
It could be a
demon.
demon.
Imps or devils. You see this one has a very pug-like face. Its eyes like go off in different directions, and it just kind of like just
Tell me it's
hops.
wearing a little bow tie.
It is not.
Oh.
It just hops out like its tongue is sticking out. Yeah, just,
It's me.
and he points again down the hall, and you see it just like turns, starts hopping up the hallway, and it goes up the hallway, up the stairs, and across the second floor, and pushes open two, actually 3 rooms, and just kind of stands there and waits.
I'm gonna take this one who is.
Yeah, I'll take my own room. My own room.
I'm gonna take him and I'm gonna shut the door on him.
Thank you, Vecmu, for letting us stay here. We really appreciate it.
Vecmu's. Oh wait, did you go upstairs yet?
No, I just
Okay.
was waiting while the thing went that way.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was just.
Thank you for letting us stay.
I'm not acknowledging.
So,
Elliot says you're good for it, so you may stay.
Have a good night.
You too.
and I'll make my way to one of the rooms that doesn't have the screaming flame in it.
As you make your way upstairs, you hear him yell over, "Do you have to sing about that? Of all things, couldn't you pick something else?" And the short version of the conversation is, why does it have to be that? It's art, Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Art.
except with a lisp.
Yeah.
It's art.
It's art, Dad.
You
Except
wouldn't understand. It's not a faith.
Oh, I'm just hearing the bard screaming.
Yeah, like the Bard and Vecmu are yelling at each other
Oh.
about his choice in song.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Head up to a room.
and I assume that's all you do for the night?
And
I'm going to bed.
Please, God, tell me he wakes up with a hangover. Oh,
And I pray to the best.
Dude, you just drank double, like your little alcohol limit, you doubled it.
Yeah, you're blackout.
You probably don't remember talking to the Bard. Alright. But with that out of the way, we are going to end it there for the night. So thank you all so much for everyone who decided to tune in. And as always, we hope to see you again in the next session. Bye-bye.
Bye.